some other guys like Ethan Vanderville to step in, like Thomas Ferell, who hasn't played in a while as well. Those guys to step in and show what they can do with this team.
Yeah, and in addition, we have we're kind of relying more on Joe Verbetic, who we really haven't seen much so far this year. He was just called as the starting goaltender for today. He only has one start, but it'll definitely be really exciting to see how the defense rallies around him, but then also forwards if we can get some scoring depth marked on the scoreboard today. It would be a thrilling game.
And so the team has been introduced. It's time for our national anthem. Let's send it down to ringside.
And join us as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. The singing of our national anthem is presented by Indiana 811, and performing the anthem tonight is Riverside Junior High Golden Harmony.
Choir from Riverside Junior High School with our national anthem this evening here at the Fishers Event Center. And it's time to drop the puck on Era's night as the Indy Fuel take on the Allen Americans. The Fuel, as we mentioned, it is Era's night, so they've got special sweaters this evening that are black with a very Taylor Swift / Nitro mashup on the front with white letters, numbers, black pants, black socks, and Allen in the road red uniforms with the Americans logo and white trim, white letters and numbers as well. So our referee tonight is Dylan Sater, I should say. Benjamin Golick and Blake Butler are the linesmen. Joe Verbetic getting the start for the Fuel. It's his second start. He makes 16 of 17 saves, so he allowed one goal in his last start on November 30th against Utah. That was a 4-1 victory. Anson Thornton back in net for Allen. He is 2-6-4 with a 3.61 goals against average. This will be his fourth consecutive start and his ninth start in the last 10 games. The Fuel moving from left to right as you picture this ring in your mind's eye. Brian Lemos, Kyle Maksimovic, Andrew Ballant, Lucas Brinton, and Nick Grima. The five on the ice, and Allen wins the draw, and away we go. Mike Van Unen gives it off for his D partner, Gagnon. Brodzinski, Asachuk, and Watts are the forwards for Allen. Braden Watts at neutral ice. Takes a bump, stays on the puck, and then loses it to Andrew Ballant. Cross-corner flip into the left wing corner in the Allen end. Ballant in on the forecheck, trying to force it free. Van Unen able to move it a little bit further up, but can't get it through the Fuel's forecheck as Brian Lemos keeps it into the zone once and twice. It comes back to Easton Brodzinski for Allen, and the former Jacksonville Iceman breaks it out. Van Unen across the Fuel line, looks to center, but it's broken up nicely by the Fuel, and they'll spin it the other way. Gagne, rink-wide pass into the attacking zone for a shot, turned aside by Thornton off the stick of Nathan Burke, and it ends up being a souvenir.
And Ryan Gagne, we saw this, in the game one, the first inaugural game in the Fishers Event Center. His first initial goal got waved off, and then he fought back, and then that goal went in. And it was just it was a beautiful moment here in the historic Fisher's Event Center. And he talked to me earlier this week about how thrilled and honored he was for that first goal and hopes to get more in the books in this new event center.
Scored the first Fuel goal in this building twice. Just one of them didn't count. Fuel win the attacking zone draw. Feed it up to the point. Luke Salem shoots, and it's turned aside by Thornton. And the Fuel win the puck along the boards. Burke spins it down a little further in. Kulikov has it for Allen. He'll give it to his D partner, Nolan Orzik. And then they'll bring it up the near side. Guy being pushed a little bit by Farmer, but he's able to retreat. And Orzik, long feed ahead to Duarte. He missed stick handled as he was trying to bring it across the line. But Allen able to recollect, but pass across the ice is picked off by Burke. And the Fuel will gain possession. We played a minute and a half, no score. Luke Salem and Ty Farmer in their own zone. Farmer had the puck explode off of his stick right to Robbie Belargian. He shoots, save Verbetic, and the rebound put just wide by Liam Gorman. Puck loose in the slot, pushed over to the near boards by Indy and out to center. Gorman tried to hold it in, but it's poked free by the Fuel's Jordan Martin. Knocked off of his stick by Robbie Belargian into the near corner in the Allen end. Lombardi trying to force it free, and it's finally dug out of there by the Americans, and Belargian will skate it up. Feed it into the neutral zone, and Gorman has it poked free from him by Thomas Ferell. Ferell skates into the Allen zone. Right circle. Drop pass for McCormick. He shoots safe. Rebound. Lombardi couldn't quite find it in the low slot. Van Unen takes it for Allen. They find some open ice. Brassard across the line, offside as he tried to drop pass to Hardy. But Brassard had gained the line and Hardy had not. And so the whistle blows with 17:32 to go in the opening frame. The Fuel out shooting Allen 3-1, but we have no score.
Yeah, also just going about these big reputations between these two teams. You know, Allen is kind of on a losing streak, and right now if you consider the Fuel on a losing streak as well, losing those two games, even though they were on a really extensive win streak before falling to Iowa.
Yeah, the Fuel with points in 6 of their last 7, 4-1-2 in that stretch. Allen has dropped 4 consecutive coming into tonight. Fuel feed it into the right wing corner in the Allen end. Manderville playing his first game in quite a while. November 10th was his last contest. Get on the forecheck, but it's poked past him to Van Unen. And the Americans send it out center. Nice play by Nick Grima to stand up on Ryan Macy. And that allows the Fuel to gain possession. However, an errant pass means an icing 3 minutes into the game. It's the first of 3 games this weekend for the Fuel. Kalamazoo will be here tomorrow night for Teddy Bear Toss, which is always a special evening here.
And then also, we'll see Kalamazoo on Sunday, but at Kalamazoo. And then also, after this game, Allen spends 2 games in Fort Wayne. So these two teams cannot deplete all their energy, especially because Allen has to go all the way up to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, there's a 3-3 for each team. And the Fuel control off the defensive zone draw. Grima sends it to an open wing out to neutral ice. It's sent back in by Allen, but they have to tag up, and that allows the Fuel a free out. Darby Llewellyn will feed it in and go for a change. Watson is zone for the Americans. He sidesteps a check, gains center red, fires it in deep. Joe Verbetic, the Fuel goaltender, making his first home start and his second overall start of the season. Wires it around. Orzik holds it into the point for Allen. Over to the right side, Brodzinski shoots, blocked, and that stung Ryan Gagne as he laid out for that. He labors to the bench and gets some reinforcements. Good play by Nick Grima to stand up the Allen rush at the line. And the Fuel gain possession, but an errant pass is picked off by Duarte at center ice, and the Americans will regroup. J.C. Brassard in his own zone. Drops it off for his D partner, Wormuth. And a headman pass broken up by the Fuel's McCormick. And it'll be sent in deep by Martin. Rimmed around. Braden Guy will take it for Allen. Puck bunted ahead to Krinkovic. Into the right wing corner for Guy in the Fuel zone. He'll send it around the carousel to Brassard in the left wing corner. Shovels it back in behind the net through both corners to an open wing where Duarte gets to it. Feeds it up to the point. Wormuth shoots wide. Brassard will pick it up off the left wing boards. He whistles one right through the top of the crease. Wormuth holds it into the right point. In behind the net looking for Krinkovic. A little too far for him. And the Fuel's Jordan Martin will feed it up the near boards, but Brassard stops it at the point. Guy shovels it back in. The Fuel stapled in their own zone right now. as McCormick will wire it around. Allen was going for a change, and the puck hit something on the way down. So as the fuel clear, there's no icing. And Mike Van Unen will pick it up and turn it over in his own zone. Maksimovic didn't have a play, so he'll send it around to Ty Farmer. Feeds it in front, and then a pass back to Brian Lemos at the point. Didn't find its intended target, as the Fuel had the puck where they wanted it, but not exactly where they wanted it to be as far as getting a good shot off. As Ballant had it in the slot, but just had it on the wrong side of his stick, so tried to play it up to the point for Lemos. And now the Fuel nearly turn it over. They do in their own zone. We have a whistle and a penalty on the Fuel. A holding call is coming with 14:33 to go. And, well, is it on Indy? It looks like Hardy is the guy protesting, but the Fuel were in possession of the puck when the whistle blew. It is the case where James Hardy is going to go for hooking, and the Fuel will have the first power play of the night.
You know, we will absolutely take that. You know, this is a team, the Indy Fuel. They have had a lot of success recently on their power plays. Their power plays have been burning red, especially when you consider in Brian Lemos and Andrew Ballant on those power plays.
The Fuel, in their last 5 games, 6 of 23. That's a 35% clip. Allen on the kill, 21st in the league at 80.3%. Fuel control. Maksimovic has it, top of the right wing circle, brings it down, banks it up to Lemos. Over to the left side. Here's a shot deflected over the net. Maksimovic grabs it along the near boards. Back up to the right point for Lemos. Back to Maksimovic. Outside hash. They'll work it back up to Lemos' right point. Walking the line. Looks for an opening to Maksimovic. Right circle up top. Lemos, one-timer, deflected just wide. And the Fuel regained possession. Lemos zips it across Bielik. Tried a one-touch pass behind Burke. Maksimovic takes it off the near boards. A minute 13 to go on the power play. Lemos, top of the left wing circle, skates in. Feeds Maksimovic on the right side. Works it low, and a pass from Burke up to Lemos. Over to Bielik, left circle, across the seam to Burke. Up top, Lemos. Skates in. Feeds one-timer. Bielik, save made by Thornton. Loose puck along the far boards. Maksimovic will send it around to open ice with 50 seconds to go on the Fuel power play. Burke to Maksimovic, trying to stick handle through an American, and does. Here is Lombardi to Maksimovic along the goal line. Fans out to the circle, shoots, and a glove save through a screen by Thornton. He holds for a whistle with 38 seconds to go on the power play.
Yeah, I definitely saw a lot of momentum and a lot of good things. You know, Allen obviously didn't get the chance to clear the puck during that majority, almost all of the power play, so that was a really good effort by the Fuel. And if they can keep that up today, I definitely can see them putting one in the net during a power play.
38 seconds remain. They've had all of the zone time so far in this one, and a couple of pretty good looks. McCormick walking the line as the Fuel win the draw. Feeds Jordan Martin behind the net. Manderville looks to feed it out in front to Spodniak. Couldn't, so I'll take it out to the boards. Gagne struggling to handle a pass. Moves it to Spodniak. And now here's a feed into the circle. Gagne, one-timer. Shot save. Thornton, the rebound put just wide. Held in at the point by McCormick with 15 seconds to go in the power play. To Martin. Feeds it into the bumper, and a shot is blocked off the stick of Spodniak. Fuel again regained possession. 5 seconds to go. Shot from McCormick. Glove save. Thornton, he holds for a whistle. 3 seconds remain in the power play. Manderville and Kulikov are exchanging some shoves after the whistle. And now Martin gets involved, and it looks like he and Duarte are exchanging some shoves as well. And cooler heads appear to have prevailed. The Fuel have had a minute 57 seconds. Try saying that 5 times fast. A minute 57 seconds of zone time in this power play, but a couple of good looks, but just haven't been able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, I think the Fuel are really feeling the momentum. You know, if you look historically, Allen has won the Great War. You know, the Fuel have only won 2 games. They're 2-5-1 against Allen historically, so definitely they're feeling like they can pull this one out today. But
2-0-1 in Indy, although certainly not in this building. All those games were at the old Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Allen wins the draw, rims it around out to neutral ice. Grimo will send it back in. We're back to 5 aside as Hardy is out of the box. It's the Fuel 0 for 1 on the power play. Orzik ahead to Watts. Has some room. Feeds it right to the tape of Hardy up the right side. He's pushed wide by Brenton behind the net and then takes a big hit from Brenton. Brassard. And boy, Hardy's still down And he has not gotten up. We're going to have a whistle. The Allen trainer is headed off the bench as Hardy took a big hit from Brenton, and he is down. And no penalty was called on the play, and so they will take a look at him. We will take a break. 12:11 to go in the opening period. We have no score. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
The Indy Fuel and Allen Americans scoreless with 12:11 to go in the opening period, and James Hardy is being escorted to the dressing room and is really struggling to put weight, it looks like, on one of his legs. So he's walking, but with a lot of help down the tunnel.
And Lucas Brenton, he's not a petite guy, and
right.
any 6'4". He's definitely got probably one of the tallest on the team. So definitely he's got some body to him. And when you combine with the boards, just watching the replay right here, he just got. It's just the right movement. Sometimes if you're at the right angle, which is what that looked like, no matter how hard or how light it was, your body's going to fall that way, and it's going to be a little painful.
Yeah, it wasn't a dirty hit at all, but it looked like Brenton was just following his guy into the boards, and looked like Hardy just lost his balance a little bit, and it's just an unfortunate play. You certainly never want to see anybody get hurt. James Hardy, a second-year pro out of Barrie, Ontario. Last year played a little bit with Cincinnati and Rapid City before coming to Allen. And the Fuel control the draw from the neutral zone. Played ahead of Maksimovic, poked away from him by Orzik, back into the Fuel zone. Nick Grima ahead to Millat. Deflects it in behind the Allen net, tracks it down himself, feeds. Lemos shoots from along the goal line, right on. And a stick save made by Thornton, and he holds for a whistle.
In our pregame show that Joe and I did, I talked a lot about Brian Lemos. He's one of the top leaders in points right now for the Fuel, but it's just solely on 8 assists. He does not have a goal recorded yet in this year, but definitely sparks are flying, and he's going to get one in the net sooner than later.
Lemos has been a really good playmaker and a good face-off guy as well, as he's in between Millat and Maksimovic tonight on the top line.
Yeah, just talk about a good locker room veteran, and then one on the ice as well.
Lemos wins the draw back to Grima. Up high. They feed it low to Lemos in the corner. To Millat behind the net. Tried to send it back to Lemos, but that was intercepted. Taken back by Lemos, but his pass up to the point is behind Brenton. And he and Grima will race back into their own zone to pick up the puck. Brenton behind his own net. Takes a hit from Chambers, and Allen gains the puck. Watts looks to center, and it's poked away from Spencer Azachuk, and here come the Fuel the other way. Millat flips it just wide of the cage, looking for Maksimovic. He'll bat it behind the Allen net as Indy finishes a change. Lombardi, in on the forward check, is able to force the puck free, but the Fuel couldn't hold it in. Nice play by Spencer Azachuk to get it out. He's in his 12th year with the Allen Americans. He joined them when they were in the CHL back in 2013. Bielik ahead to Burke, poked off of his stick by Kulikov nicely, and Van Unen, his D partner, will take the puck and chip it out to center for Allen. Ty Farmer grabs it for the Fuel, but the puck was hit by a high stick, and then the Fuel got the next touch. So a whistle will blow with 10:54 to go in the opening period. We have no score. Shots 5-1 in favor of Indy.
I spoke with Darby Llewellyn earlier this week, especially on, him getting that shorty in the first minute of the game on Saturday, and he really said there's just a pure joy of scoring. He said mixed with the roar of the crowd and that pass by Jordan, if you could bottle up that feeling and sell it, you'd be a millionaire.
Especially when you get a shorty in the first minute of a game. That was the Fuel's first shorty and so far only shorty of the season. Allen controls off the draw. Orzik back in his own zone. Gets it past Colin Beck, but Bielik's interference was able to force a turnover. And now here come the Fuel the other way. Gagne into the right wing corner looking for Bielik. Looks to track it down. And comes out of the puck battle to Duarte for Allen. Just to zip it ahead to Krinkovic. Working on McCormick. Puts on the brakes as he gains the Fuel line. Backhands it down the boards looking for Duarte, but picked off by the Fuel's Ryan Gagne and flip back to the Allen line. Indy will complete a change as J.C. Brassard will track back into his own zone. Brassard playing a second game for the Americans. Played last year in France. Had previously played for Utah and Tulsa in the ECHL. Puck sent in deep. It's loose at the side of the cage, but the only guys there wearing black sweaters for the Fuel. And it's sent out to center. Brassard gloves it down, but his D-to-D pass was nearly picked off by Lombardi. Chipped out to center. Grabbed by the Fuel. And they chip it back into the Allen zone where Brassard sends it over to the near boards. Taken back by the Fuel. Martin into the Allen zone. Drop pass a little bit behind Spodniak. Matou dives to try to keep it in, but is unsuccessful. Lombardi at center. Brings it back into the Allen zone up the left side. Dips the shoulder. Takes it behind the net. Feeds it out in front for Spodniak, but it's picked off by Robbie Belargian. And the Americans try to bring it the other way. Mayshield just backhanded in deep. And the Americans will get a change as Grima skates it up the near side. Long diagonal feed, trying to find Ballant, does not. And this will be an icing with 9:12 to go in a scoreless first period here at the Fishers Event Center.
Definitely when you look at last weekend, especially on Saturday, the Fuel were a little haunted by Iowa because they widely outshot the Fuel on numerous occasions. And they had all the momentum. You think about the third period on Saturday, on Friday, and now then the whole game on Saturday. But definitely looking at now, 5 shots on the board for the Fuel, 1 shot on the board for Allen. It's definitely turning around.
Chambers to take the draw for Allen in the right wing circle. And their attacking zone against Brian Lemos for the Fuel. The Fuel had iced the puck. Lemos is warned. And he is tossed out of the circle, so Ballant will have to take the face-off. And, yeah, because it was an icing, I was thinking that you don't toss the guy out of the circle after an icing. And so Lemos is back in. Now, if he commits a face-off violation again, it's a penalty. He does not. The Fuel win the draw. Comes over to the near boards for Ballant. He takes a hit and moves it up, but can't get it out. Van Unen, actually, he did. It came across the line, and then Van Unen brought it back in. So the whistle stops play with 9:05 to go in period number 1.
And also, if you're a Fuel fan and you're thinking that last weekend was a little bit too rough, Iowa has really just shown a lot of dominance. On Wednesday, they shut out Toledo 2-0. So it's definitely, don't take it personally, Fuel fans.
Iowa's won 6 consecutive games, including the 2 here at Indy last weekend. And they've beaten Toledo twice in that span as well as a bunch of games against Bloomington.
They should play Wheeling.
Puck fed into the right wing corner in the Allen end, and Ballant trying to force it free behind the net from Gagnon, and it's still loose. And Brian Lemos trying to jam it free. It comes up the near boards to Braden Watts, the former Wichita Thunder player, sends it into the Fuel end. Luke Salem grabs it for Indy. Around the far boards to Colin Beck. He'll backhand it out to center, right to the tape of Burke. He is challenged by Kulikov and jams it into the Allen zone, where Orzik will pick it up for the Americans. Retreat back behind his own net. Over to the near side, Watts, and Burke forces a turnover. Burke along the right wing boards, bottom of the circle, fanned on the shot. Comes up to the point where Grima holds it in. Straight away, shoots over the net. And it's poked free from Kulikov by Bielik behind the net, keeping it alive. And it ended up hitting one of the Fuel players. It was Burke in the face. He has to retreat to the bench, and Allen gains possession of the puck. Rink wide feed finds Orzik with some open ice. He'll rim it through both corners. Sit in behind the net a little too far for Asachuk, but he's able to track it down along the near boards. He takes a big hit Broussard moves it a little further forward. The Fuel take it. Here they come one-on-one. Llewellyn across the line, puts on the brakes, feeds Brenton down the middle, and it was stopped by Thornton. The rebound to Darby right in front, and Thornton again makes the save. Brenton couldn't have had a better chance there, and now here's Martin. Feeds it out in front. Llewellyn couldn't find it in his skates. He was all alone at the top of the crease. 3 great scoring chances for the Fuel on this shift, and Allen is going to ice the puck to relieve the pressure.
That was a really good shift for the Fuel. When I'm talking about getting those rebounds and just trying to get the puck towards the net, that's the exact pressure that you're going to need, because sometimes it's going to be the one, it's going to go in. And that, Darby had great looks. That's how he got it on Saturday's contest, but he really almost got it if it was not for that pad save.
That was a beautiful feed across to Brenton, and apologies for the little pause there. The Fuel's numbers are a little difficult to read, and it was difficult to tell if that was Brenton or Martin, but Brenton with the shot, and then Darby Llewellyn teed up a slap shot on the rebound, and Thornton made the save on that one. Puck in behind the Allen net off the draw after the icing. Comes over to the far side, where it'll be settled down in his own zone by Easton Brodzinski. Brodzinski with 11 goals this season. He's tied for 13th in the league in scoring with his teammate, Braden Watts. Allen handing it off several times behind the net, and then they finally try to headman it into neutral ice, and Thomas Ferell knocks the puck down, then delivers a hit on Duarte, and then goes for a change after sending it in. Long feed ahead, Blaisdell for Allen. Takes a hit, moves it to Duarte, dips the shoulder, takes it along the goal line, poke checked by Verbetic. Goaltender very alert, poking the puck free over to the near corner. And Blaisdell was trying to jam it out of that puck battle, and it finally comes to McCormick for the Fuel behind his own net. Long feed ahead to Gagne, gains the line offside. He was just a hair ahead of the play, trying to time it, and he might have had a step on the D had he been able to. But instead, we have a whistle with 6:02 to go in the first period, and I think because the pass originated in the defensive zone, the faceoff is going to come back into the Fuel end.
And I forgot to mention earlier about Ryan Gagne. In the goal in Friday's contest, he had 2 shots. One he didn't make, and the other one was waved off, and the other one was officially a goal. He also does not have any penalty minutes yet. So talk about someone who, he does play dirty at times, but overall, pretty clean hockey from Ryan Gagne.
I say he plays physical.
Yeah.
And so the Fuel control the defensive zone, draw feed ahead. Lombardi doesn't handle it cleanly along the near boards. Comes back to Ty Farmer, the former Allen American. Goes to his D partner, Salem. Short pass ahead. Martin through center across the Allen line. Still on the puck in the left wing corner. Behind the net for Lombardi. Van Unen tries to break that up. Comes over to Martin. Spins off a check in the left wing corner. Looks to cycle it a little further to Matou. Spodniak tracks it down in the right corner. Brings it up the boards. Takes a hit from Guy. And Spodniak trying to force it away from Duarte, who is able to hand it out to neutral ice. You are allowed to hand pass to the defensive zone. Martin will chip it into the Allen end and go for a change. 5:18 to go. And now Martin and Gorman are having some words as Gorman was trying to head to the bench, and he got tangled up with Martin, who gave him a shove, and then Martin went to the bench to finish his change. Orzik along the near boards. Rink wide to his D partner, Kulikov. Backhands it in deep. Joe Verbetic will stop it for the D. McCormick up the far side to Colin Beck. And he tried to backhand it out to center. Couldn't get it through Maishi. And on third effort, he's able to settle the puck down and drop it off for Thomas Ferell. Ferell playing his first game since November 16th. Claimed off waivers from Toledo earlier this season. Like Colin Beck, a former captain of the West Point hockey team. Maishi in behind the net. Rubbed off the play. Colin Beck has it poked off of his stick, but Gagne backhands it to the Allen line with 4.5 to go in the opening period. It's been a physical first period. 7-1 in favor of the Fuel in terms of shots. Orzik playing his first game for the Americans in quite a while. Has it forced free, but Allen will reset. J.C. Broussard back in his own zone. Well, the crowd doesn't like it when a team retreats back into their own zone to start the breakout. And Brassard very slowly feeds it over to Wormuth, out to Watts. Soft pass into the left wing corner looking for Asachuk. Broken up by Lemos, and then a centering feed from Watts doesn't find its intended target. Taken off the boards. Here come the Fuel the other way. Into the zone comes Maksimovic. Into the right wing corner. Spins back up to Farmer. One-timer save. Rebound loose in the slot. Maksimovic couldn't find it. As he finally did, it was poked off of his stick by Asachuk and cleared out to center. Blount looking to re-enter. Backhands it in behind the net. Thornton, a rare right-catching goaltender, moves it along, and it's flipped out to center. Glove down by the Fuel. Allen gets the next touch, so we play on. Watts backhands it just briefly into the Fuel zone, but it's picked up there by McCormick. Martin along the near boards. Gains center red and just shovels it into the right wing corner, looking for Manderville. Into the forecheck. Gagnon's able to force it free from him, but Martin takes the puck for Indy. Rims it around, looking for Llewellyn. Martin's tangled up with Van Unen behind the net now. Gets up, takes the puck, looks to center, but it's poked away by Thornton as he got the paddle down to prevent that centering pass from behind the net. Here comes Van Unen. Takes a hit and moves it into the Fuel zone. Verbetic out of his net. Sends it back up to Britton along the near boards. Britton gains the red line. Cross corner dump into the Allen zone with 2.5 minutes to go in the period. No score. Gagnon up the left side to Krinkovic. Chips it in toward the Fuel net, cut off by Lucas Brenton of Indy. And he'll go over to Colin Beck along the far boards. Soft pass out to center is taken by Indy. Indirect pass for Bielik into the left wing corner. And he's rubbed off the play, but the Fuel able to maintain possession. Back diagonal to Farmer at the line. To Burke. Turnaround shot from the top of the right wing circle. Blocked. Puck loose in the slot, and Kulikov comes out of there with it for Allen and skates it out to center. Bats it to the Fuel line. Indy with a quick re-entry. Bielik across the line. Curls, drag, scores! Colin Bielik rips it high stick side on Thornton. And the Fuel have taken a 1-0 lead.
This is Colin Bielik's fourth goal of the season. Talk about someone who has really poured his energy into the team. He did so last year and he did so now as one of our alternative captains. As we mentioned earlier, graduate from West Point, used to be a captain. Definitely someone who has worked and worked and worked, not only on his team, but also in the junior field community as well.
Colin Bielik used the defenseman Orsic as a little bit of a screen and then just curled around him, just ripped it. He didn't have a whole lot of room to shoot it, but got it over the shoulder of Anson Thornton and the Fuel lead at 1-0.
Just don't let him get to that spot, and that's exactly where he did.
So Colin Bielik gives the Fuel a lead. Now here comes Lombardi shooting, save, rebound, but just wide. Spodniak up at the right point, Ferell. Left point, McCormick. Back to Ferell along the blue line. Skates in. Now to Gagne. Try to send it in to Spodniak. Pass a little too far for him, and Brassard will backhand it out to center. Inside the final 90 seconds to go in the first period. Rink-wide pass for Spodniak. Gains the Allen line to the right wing circle. Drop pass Lombardi. Takes it to the bottom of the circle. He shoots from a sharp angle. Positional save made by Thornton. And Salem and Burke with the assist on Bielik's fourth of the year, giving the Fuel a 1-0 lead. We tick down to the final minute of the opening period. Here's Watts across the Fuel line. Sends it in along the boards. Maksimovic grabs it for Indy, rims it around. Gagnon can't hold it in at the point, but he could have played it, so the linesmen wave off the icing as it's picked up by Thornton behind his own net. Van Unen plays it up the near boards. Asachuk has it knocked down and taken by Maksimovic. Good play by Grima to stand up Asachuk at the Allen line. Fuel regroup back in their own zone. Headman it to Martin. He's poked by Van Unen. It's chipped to the Allen line and sent to Bellant along the left wing boards. He'll stop in the corner. Look for options. Back diagonal. Grima with room. Into the slot. Lemos shoots. And a save made by Thornton. Lemos along the near boards with 13 seconds to go in the period. Takes it down to the bottom of the circle. His shot blocked by Watts. Up and out of play. And the Fuel with an attacking zone draw with 9.1 seconds to go in the period. Outshooting Allen 12-1, leading 1-0.
talk about somebody who, has put up a lot of points. He knows places on the ice. Nathan Burke, he is the first field player this season to reach 10 points, and he did so with an assist off Colin Beck's goal. Luke Salem also had an assist on that, and that was his third assist of the season.
So Fuel here with an attacking zone draw. Lemos to take it. He's got Bielik in the shooter's hole behind him, but Allen does a good job of intervening. Does Gagnon to break up the play. High flip out to center, and that'll do it for the first period. Colin Beck's goal has given the Indy Fuel a 1-0 lead over the Allen Americans through 20 minutes. That goal coming at the 18:07 mark of the opening frame. Fuel outshoot Allen 12-1 in that opening 20 minutes. Indy had the only power play. It was unsuccessful, and Indy leads it by a goal after 20 minutes. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you our first intermission show where Eva and I will recap this first 20 minutes. And Eva also chatted with Ty Farmer before the game. You'll hear that conversation in our first intermission. Indy 1, Allen nothing through 20 minutes. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
At Abrams Eye Care, our skilled team of ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, and professional staff strive to treat our patients with the greatest efficiency, professionalism, and kindness. Each of our 3 Abrams Eye Care locations desire for you to enjoy a lifetime of visual health and wellness. We take pride in our excellent patient satisfaction rating and our reputation as one of the most comprehensive eye care groups in central Indiana since 1950. We are honored to be the official eye care doctor for the Indy Fuel and Fisher's Freight. Visit our new Abrams Eye Care location in Carmel.
Otolaryngology Associates, LLC is one of the largest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the United States, with 13 convenient locations throughout Indiana in Indianapolis, Greencastle, Greenfield, Kokomo, Noblesville, and Carmel. With more than 20 years of experience, Dr. Biggerstaff has used his surgical skills performing thousands of complex cosmetic and reconstruction cases, including rhinoplasty, neck lift, facelift, facial implants, otoplasty, hair restoration surgeries, as well as extensive experience with thyroid and parathyroid surgeries.
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey.
First intermission here at the Fishers Event Center. The Indy Fuel leading the Allen Americans 1-0 after a period, thanks to the goal by Colin Beck, his 4th of the year, and that was a snipe from the right wing circle, beating Thornton high on the stick side. And again, Thornton is a right-catching goaltender, so that stick side is normally where the glove side is for most goaltenders, but a nice snipe for Colin Beck, his first goal in 4 games, and the Fuel leading Allen 1-0. And the thing you like is Joe Verbetic just making his 2nd start of the year. He hasn't been very busy, has had to make just 1 save through 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it's definitely good that they're, backing him up, supporting him, especially when it's only a 2nd start. Again, obviously, you don't want to leave him in exile there, but you also want to support him. And, he's going to face some shots at some point, and he's going to need that because he's going to face some other teams if Ben Gaudreau stays up. But I also want to point out some stats that I brought out. This is not the Fuel's first Taylor Swift night. They've played in Kalamazoo and Reading's Taylor Swift night. And, the Fuel did not have any penalties in that first period. And combined, when the Fuel played Kalamazoo, the Fuel had no penalties. And when they played Reading, they only had 6 penalties. So I guess Taylor Swift night brings, minimal bad blood. They're very tame, they're very mild. So I'm very interested to see if that trend continues or if gloves may go off, because especially if Allen wants to defend their teammate that got injured.
Yeah, as they lost James Hardy to a hit from Lucas Brent. And again, it wasn't really a dirty hit. It really wasn't a hard hit. But it looks like Hardy just lost his balance going into the boards for a puck and ended up getting the worst of it. And he was really struggling as he was helped off the ice. So hopefully he is not hurt too badly and can return to action before too long. But you just like the Fuel they had a couple of really, really good scoring chances. Had one sequence where Lucas Brenton had one off a beautiful feed from Darby Llewellyn, and then Darby had the rebound and fired a slap shot from point-blank range, and Thornton got that one. And then the Fuel had another chance later in the shift as well, and Anson Thornton has basically been standing on his head right now, and that's been the one thing that's probably kept this from being a 3 or 4-0 game at this point.
Yeah, definitely when you think about people like Darby Llewellyn, you talk about his game on Saturday. He was really doing the nitty-gritty stuff, and that's what he's been doing all season. You know, he's consistently been in the fourth line, but the fourth line, when we had like Sajin as well before we traded him to Savannah, the fourth line was really doing all of the nitty-gritty work. Cam Hausinger was also in the fourth line before he got called up to the Chicago Wolves, and he's currently playing right now, so we'll have to check on him later on. But definitely people like Darby, they're doing the little stuff, they're doing the nitty-gritty, and also someone who reminds me of that is Andrew Belong. He's also been doing the nitty-gritty stuff in this game as well.
Yeah, he has. Allen with one shot on goal that period. That is ties a franchise record for the fewest shots on goal allowed. It's been done 3 other times, most recently on March 1st against Iowa. And so anytime you can set a franchise record, that's a pretty good thing, as the Fuel out shooting Allen 12-1 in that opening frame and leading it 1-0 on the goal by Colin Beck. So let's take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard in the ECHL. Maine leads Adirondack 3-1 after a period. And for the Mariners, Jimmy Lambert has a pair of goals for Maine. Florida leads Orlando 1-0 on Carson Gasevich's goal. That's in the first intermission. Wheeling 15-3-1, and they are rolling again. They lead Reading 3-1 after one. Norfolk has a 3-0 lead over Cincinnati after a period. Old friend Dennis Smirnoff with a goal for the Admirals. Trois-Rivières and Worcester tied at 1. And another old friend, Anthony Beauregard, former Fuel player, has the goal for Trois-Rivières. Atlanta and Jacksonville just dropped the puck. They are scoreless. Fort Wayne is in Bloomington tonight. Toledo is in Iowa. Savannah at Kansas City. Those are all 8 o'clock face-offs. Wichita at Rapid City. Tulsa at Idaho are 9 o'clock face-offs. And the Chicago Wolves, as we mentioned, with Cam Hausinger, will be in Texas tonight in Cedar Park to take on the Stars. That game will face off at the top of the hour. One game in the NHL tonight. The Senators and Hurricanes are scoreless late in the first period. Here, the Indy Fuel have a 1-0 lead over the Allen Americans. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, Eva chatted with Ty Farmer before the game. You'll hear that conversation right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Season tickets for the Indy Fuel's inaugural season at the Fishers Event Center are on sale now. Be there for all of the exciting action with a full season plan. You get a guaranteed seat location for all 36 home games, exclusive season ticket holder events, discounts on Fuel merchandise, and the lowest price per ticket. You can also pair your Indy Fuel season tickets with Fisher's Freight season tickets. Visit IndyFuelHockey.com today or email tickets at IndyFuelHockey.com to get in on all the action.
So our intermission coverage continues with Ty Farmer, defenseman, who this is his first year with the Fuel. So first off, welcome Ty to the Intermission Show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So first off, tonight we're playing against your former team. You had over 50 games played. So what is the mentality going into tonight?
Just treat it like every other game. I don't really look at those guys as, I guess, teammates anymore. Obviously there's some friends around, but just try to make sure there's enemies out there, and as there should be, and just stick to what I do best.
And recently, because of Captain Chris Cameron's suspension in Utah, the defense has been putting in a lot more work. And as a defenseman, you've been, adapting to these changes. Just tell me about, the defense as a whole, their adaptability, and kind of what you guys are working on for this weekend.
We've been working on just breaking pucks out and being very clean with it. With Cameron out, that's obviously detrimental to our D-corps, but I think everyone in this room is capable. I think another thing that we've been working on is just making quick plays and getting out of the zone quicker, quick transitions. So I think that's huge for us, and if we continue to do that, it's going to work out.
So today is also Eras Night, and when we were in Reading, you scored on their Eras Night. I don't know if you knew that or not. But are you going to do it again? Are you going to score on Eras Night again?
Yeah, I think it's starting to become a trend. I'm hoping that I could do it again, especially against this team. It would mean a lot for me. But, you know, at the end of the day, just a win feels just as good.
And this is your first time in the Central Division for the ECHL. So just tell me about your approach to not only just a new team, but new division as well. So we're playing, Kalamazoo tomorrow, and we played Iowa last week.
Yeah, it definitely feels different. Not so used to it. I got used to the Mountain Division and the guys I was playing against, seeing them so much. But, it's just trying to get familiar with their forwards and how they play and their styles. But for me, it's really just, another hockey game and just bring my best and see what I can do.
And with all these home games, we're playing in a brand spanking new arena. We're playing at the Fishers Event Center. So obviously, we had that long 15-game road stretch. So talk about the road stretch. But then also, it's not every day you as a player get to play in a brand new facility. So how are you enjoying playing it in this new arena?
Yeah, I love the arena so far. It's been great. Only been here, obviously, one weekend. But, the energy that the fans bring and all the rest that comes with it, it's been awesome. The 15-game road stretch was a little different. When I got traded here, I looked at the schedule, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for that. But, it's good to bring challenges to a team early on and see what we're made of. So I think we handled it accordingly.
And then this is a question from Joe that you mentioned to him earlier today. So how will you ensure that you look menacing tonight in the Eras jerseys?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was a little concerned about how scary we looked with the Taylor Swift all over our jerseys, but I think that group over there knows me. They know how I play, and they know I don't take things lightly. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm just going to try to keep playing my game, and hopefully everyone else does too.
And what are some of your pregame or superstition rituals that you have for a game? A lot of players, they tape their stick out in the arena. So what's one of the things that you do before a game?
I really try not to be superstitious. I think it's a bad habit. If you can play your game and do things however order you would like, I feel like that's a test to yourself as well. So I try to stick to. I guess I just take a shower before I put my stuff on. Take my stick, have a coffee, but nothing too crazy, nothing too in particular either.
And take a shower is pretty important. So
yeah, but it's two. There's one at home.
There's one. Okay, so
as soon as I walk in.
So there's three because you got to take one afterwards as well.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah, definitely take it right after.
So now I'm gonna get into some of your keys to the game. So what is one of your personal keys to the game tonight?
For me, I just make sure I move my feet and I'm defending well with a good stick. I think that's huge for my game and the way I play. I think it makes things a lot easier for me when I'm doing those three things, and obviously setting gaps as well. Accepting the rushes the right way, and doing what I can to keep the puck out away from our net. So.
And score today because it's Eras Night, and you've done it twice so far, so it's consistency.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what is a key to the game for the defense tonight?
Kind of like what I just said. I hope everyone's moving their feet and doing the right things back there. I like when our decor's calm. When we get a little panicky, it's obvious to me, but I don't think it's happened too many times this year. But just knowing that how good we are as a back end and what we're actually capable of is huge.
Well, thank you, Ty, so much for the keys to the game and your little interview, for joining us in the pregame show. So we'll let you go and get ready for the game. So it's great. Again, this is Ty Farmer, and we'll send you back to the action.
Thank you.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
We're in the first intermission at the Fishers Event Center, the Indy Fuel, with a 1-0 lead over the Allen Americans. Along with Eva Hallman, I'm Andrew Smith. We're awaiting the return of the two teams to the ice for the second period. Colin Beck's goal coming at the 18:07 mark of the first, our only scoring so far. Beck from Salem and Burke at 18:07. That is your scoring summary through 20 minutes. And as we mentioned, this begins a 3-3 for the Fuel as they will host Kalamazoo tomorrow night in the second game of the weekend and the first visit by the K-Wings here. But it's also Teddy Bear Toss night, always a special night for the fans here. We usually sell out. Tickets are moving fast, so get them at Ticketmaster.com to be here tomorrow night for Teddy Bear Toss. And remember to bring a new stuffed animal to throw onto the ice when the Fuel score their first goal tomorrow night against the Kalamazoo Wings. Then they'll head to Kalamazoo on Sunday and then back here on Wednesday for the first game here, in the second game all time against our sister team, the Bloomington Bison. That'll be at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, our Wednesday night hockey game. It'll be the second in our Wintertainment series, which will conclude next Saturday when the Fort Wayne Comets make their first visit here. And the Fuel and Comets actually begin the season series next Friday in Fort Wayne. And then they will resume pleasantries here on the 21st and then again on the 27th for the first game after Christmas. Lots of opportunities to see the Fuel here at the Fishers Event Center in the month of December.
Yeah, not seeing the comments until then. It's definitely been a little strange, but I also want to point out before we started, resuming, they put the happy birthday screens on the board, and we just have a couple birthdays today. One, noticeably, Alex Weidman. It's his birthday today, and I also want to give a happy birthday shout out to Fiona in Fort Wayne, my other female commentator. So I just want to give a happy birthday to Alex Weidman and Fiona in Fort Wayne. So I hope you both have an amazing birthday. Also, it's Taylor Swift's birthday, which is another reason why it's Eras Night on today. So, but it looks like we are getting ready for the third period. Ryan Gagne looks to be stretching things out after his fall earlier today.
Yeah, so the two teams are on the ice. We'll flip ends. The Fuel will move from right to left as you picture this rink in your mind's eye for the second period. Alex Weidman celebrating number 33 today. And other guys celebrating birthdays. Brian McKee, who played for the Checkers back in the 1986-87 season. He turns 60 today. So happy birthday to him. And Cam Kiley played for the Fuel back in the 2020-21 season, also celebrating a birthday today. So
all the shout-outs.
And so the two teams, as we mentioned, back on the ice as we get ready to begin period number 2. And
if you look historically of Allen trailing after one, they are 0-6-1. So definitely, having that leg up. The Fuel, after leading after one, is 3-0-2. So definitely a little stronger odds, points in the running for the Fuel always when they're leading after one.
Fuel also 6-0-2 and scoring first this season. Allen has a couple of wins when surrendering the first goal. Tonight is the 10th time they have done so. So the Asachuk, Watts, Brodzinski line will start the second period for Allen. It'll be the Lemos, Maksimovic, Ballant line for Indy. Allen controls off the draw. Mike Van Unen chips it up the boards where Lemos will bat it back to the Allen line. It banks off of a leg to Gagnon, and he'll try to headman it into the fuel zone, and it missed everybody. It was deflected on the way, so no icing. Comes up to the point. Gagnon tries to send it a little further along, and it popped straight up in the air and hopped right to Andrew Ballant of Indy. Rink wide to Grima, and he'll send it in softly, and the Fuel will swap out the D. 30 seconds into the period. Maksimovic behind the Allen net takes a bump from Asachuk, and Bielik takes the puck. Maksimovic up to the point. Salem straight away shoots. Save made by Thornton on the wrist shot. Burke holds it in at the point. Sends it down the boards where Mike Van Unen takes it for Allen. His twin brother Rylan is also on the team, but is not dressed right now, so he's been out with an injury for a while. And here comes Burke across the Allen line. Puts on the brakes the right side. Tried to back diagonal to the point to Luke Salem, but it was broken up. Ty Farmer will track it down in his own end for Indy. Rims it around to Bielik. Short pass ahead to Burke doesn't connect, and the Americans will hammer it back in deep. Farmer behind his own net. Doesn't handle it cleanly and nearly turned it over to Krinkovic in his crease. And Verbetic had to be Johnny on the spot. Duarte shoots from the right wing circle. Verbetic turns that aside as well. Gagne in his own corner. Bielik with a bit of a dangerous blind pass to Burke in his own zone. It was broken up by Allen as Burke exited the zone, and they hammer it back in. Farmer, a little bit dangerously, tried the breakout and stick handled right through his own crease with pressure and nearly turned it over. But the Fuel able to clear it out to center. Now here comes Belargian trying to hop on a puck in the right wing corner in the Fuel end. He takes a hit and sends it behind the net to Meishi. Farmer tries to cancel him out. Now Belargian battling, sent up to the point to Orzik. Left point, Kulikov shoots, deflected wide. Belargian back diagonal to Orzik, deflected by the Fuel's Ryan Gagne, but Orzik holds it in. The former Heartlander rims it through both corners into the left wing corner, but a pass for Kulikov doesn't connect to the Fuel. Flip it out to center to relieve the pressure. Like 2.5 minutes of period at number 2. 1-0 Fuel. Lemos in his own zone. Drops it off and blowing a tire and losing the puck is Lombardi, but some good emergency defending by Farmer gets it out to center. Lemos gains the line, backhands it in deep. Llewellyn and Manderville giving chase. Comes behind the net where Wormuth takes it for Allen, and they'll break it out to center. Chambers, rink wide pass to Blaisdell. He takes a hit from Ferell. Puck comes in behind the net. Chambers gives chase, as does McCormick for the Fuel. Chambers sends it out in front all alone, and the shot hit the crossbar off the stick of Braden Watts. That's a guy you don't want to turn the puck over to in point-blank range, but the Fuel able to hold it out. Now Indy sends it into the Allen zone. Manderville trying to fight off a check. Wormuth was able to hold him off and send it up to the point where the Fuel maintained possession. Puck rimmed around to Brenton along the left wing boards. They'll send it behind the net looking for Martin, and it comes up to the left point for Llewellyn. Feeds it in front, deflected, score! Andrew Ballant with the incredible hand-eye coordination bats a puck out of midair and past Thornton, and the Fuel lead it 2-0.
Andrew Ballant was my player to watch early in the pregame show. This is his first goal of the season. He currently has 4 assists currently on the books, but this was his first goal. Definitely someone who has worked hard, one of our alternate captains for the team. So someone who's been itching for a goal and finally got one, and luckily it's at home.
First goal since April 12th. And the Fuel just cycled the puck, got it up to the point. Just send the puck to the net. Good things will happen. And Ballant bats that out of the air and redirects it past Thornton, and the Fuel have a 2-0 lead. And it often seems that when one team has a golden scoring chance that goes awry, it ends up in the back of the net on the other end. Now here come the Americans. Asachuk behind the D. He shoots wide. He's looking for a penalty. None is forthcoming. Brenton spins off a check behind his own net. Ballant backhands it into the Allen end, and this will be an icing. Llewellyn and Martin with the assist on Ballant's goal. Game at 3:39 of period number 2. And that gives the Fuel a 2-goal lead.
This is Darby's first assist of the season, and this is Jordan's second, and both are back-to-back games.
Yeah, both of them had the points on Saturday. Darby with the goal, Martin with the assist, and the Fuel's 2-1 overtime loss to Iowa. So points and back-to-backs for both of them. Ballant now with 5 points in his last 7 games. Allen wins the attacking zone draw, but it's blocked into the near boards by Ballant. Now Brenton goes down thanks to Brodzinski battling for the puck. Watts has it in the right wing corner. He blows a tire, and that allows Nick Grima to take the puck for Indy. Headmans it through the neutral zone looking for Maximovich, a little too far. Van Unen takes it for Allen. Diagonal feed misses Watts. He hits the side of the cage and therefore is an icing. With 15:35 to go in period number 2, 2-0 Fuel. Allen still with just 1 shot on goal in the game.
Yeah, long story short, you look at the shots on goal, 14 to still technically 1, but we did see some quality opportunities in front of Verbetic, but Verbetic has really not seen too much action over on his end, which is quite good because this is his second game in a Fuel uniform.
He didn't see a whole lot of action in his first start either.
Playing in Utah, yeah, especially.
Saw just 17 shots in that game, a 4-1 Fuel victory on the Saturday in Utah a couple of weeks ago on Thanksgiving weekend when the Fuel swept the Grizzlies in a 3-game series. Allen wins the defensive zone draw, gets it as far as center ice. Now Brodzinski forces it free. Back diagonal. Watts right down Main Street. Misses high and wide with a wrister. Burke up the far side, out to center. Burke can't sidestep Van Unen's check. Is able to stay with it, however. And feed it into the left wing corner for Bielik. Now Gagne trying to settle a bouncing puck down. Takes it into the high slot. Over to the right wing circle. Curls back, looks for an option. Sends it to Salem at the left point. He holds. Feeds it down the boards for Spodniak in the left wing corner. Back up to the point for Salem. And now to Spodniak. Walking the line. Takes it into the left wing circle. He's tripped up. Gagne tracks the puck down. Feeds Bielik. Into Spodniak. He takes a cross check in the middle of the slot as he was trying to get a shot off, and that forces him down. Crowd wants a penalty, and Allen ices the puck. With 14:38 to go in the opening, or in the middle frame, the Fuel leading 2-0.
Definitely, we're seeing a lot of things that, opposite of what we saw last weekend, we're seeing a lot of more offensive time. The Fuel are staying in their own, away from their defensive zone. They're staying in the offensive zone, which really was key. And throughout this whole season, you know, the Fuel have their lowest in league for goals for, less than 2 goals per game. So if the Fuel can keep racking up these goals, it's definitely going to build the confidence for the team again.
And I think we've had a penalty called on the Fuel.
Oh.
A post-whistle penalty. And Nathan Burke's going over to the box.
This is their first penalty of the game, so almost halfway through the game, and first penalty is not too shabby.
So
I'm curious what that is for.
I'm wondering if there is an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Fuel because of the lack of a call on the play when Spodniak was cross-checked. Whatever the case, the Fuel was shorthanded. Allen's pretty good on the power play, 4th in the league at 24.1%, although they're 1 for their last 8 over the last 4 games. Fuel win the draw. Brenton clears it all the way down. The Fuel on the kill, 2nd in the league.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
89.8%. They've killed off 24 of the last 25 over the last 8 games. Here comes Duarte, and the puck wouldn't go with him as he and Guy tried to gain the zone, so Allen has to regroup. 1:35 to go in their power play. Burke for unsportsmanlike conduct. It's Burke in the box. I'm wondering if that might have been a bench minor, but we'll see. Belargian across the Fuel line. Drop past to nobody. Llewellyn finds it and clears it all the way down.
It does not say bench penalty on the game sheet.
Okay, so it is Burke's penalty. Duarte across his own line. Drop pass for Brassard. Up the right side, Orzik. Challenged by McCormick, and he forces it out to center. 1:05 to go in the Allen power play. 13:40 to go in period number 2. The Fuel leading 2-0. Duarte tracks back into his own zone. Drops it off for Braden Watts. Lots with 11 goals on the year. Nearly had a 12th. Hit the crossbar earlier in this period. Give and go a little too far. Trickles in on Verbeek, and he will cover it up to get a whistle with 13:26 to go in the period. And 48 seconds remaining on the Allen power play. Verbeek with the red and blue pads of the Montreal Canadiens. He spent the last 2 years in their organization bouncing back and forth between Trois-Rivières and the ECHL and Laval and the AHL. He was a 7th-round pick of the Canadiens back in 2021.
Definitely was a great pickup to get him earlier in the season, and he's definitely going to grow in this organization as time goes on.
He was an all-rookie goaltender in the Ontario Hockey League. Fuel win the draw, but a nice play by Watts to hold it in at the line after the Fuel tried to clear. Blount aggressively forces it free from Brodzinski. Now Lemos has it one-on-one through center. Lemos backhands it into the zone, puts on the brakes. Looked to send it to Blount coming down the middle, but the pass didn't connect. Brodzinski intercepts, one-handed across the Fuel line, and Gorman's pass for Krinkovic is intercepted and cleared by Indy. 15 seconds to go in the Allen power play. 2-0 Fuel. Brodzinski will drop it off for Krinkovic. Cross center red, feeds Brodzinski, give and go, broken up by the Fuel's Nick Grima, and he'll send it all the way down, and that'll do it for the power play as Burke is sprung from the box. The Fuel are 1-for-1 on the kill and still lead it 2-0. Gorman in his own zone. Pass deflected by Blaisdell into the Fuel end. Verbeek, the Fuel goaltender, moves it around the boards. And it's into the corner for Chambers. Tries to spin off of a check behind the net. It comes. And it's sent up to the point for Gagnon. Shoots, and it's blocked in front. Good stick by Blaisdell. Forces it free into the right wing corner. Chambers, the former Kalamazoo wing. And send it for Blaisdell. One of the Fuel players, Gagne's without a stick. As Salem backhands it over to the near boards to Burke. And he'll have it forced off of his stick, but gets it out to center very quickly. Blaisdell comes back into the zone, backhands it on goal. An easy save for Joe Verbeek, and he holds for a whistle. 11:49 remains in period number 2. The Indy Fuel, on goals by Colin Beck and Andrew Blount, have a 2-0 lead over the Allen Americans. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Football is coming to the Fishers Event Center in March. Secure your seats now for all of the exciting, hard-hitting, high-scoring action of Fishers Freight football. You can pair your Fishers Freight season tickets with your Indy Fuel season tickets, too. A $50 deposit reserves your seats. Head on over to FishersFreightFootball.com to reserve your season tickets for the 2025 season.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Here in the second period, the Indy Fuel with a 2-0 lead over the Allen Americans as we tick down to the midpoint of the hockey game. Colin Beck and Andrew Blount with the goals. Beck coming at 18:07 of the first. Blount at 3:39 of the second. Showing some baseball skills, knocking that puck out of midair. And Blount from Brighton, Michigan. Allen's backup goaltender, Logan Neaton, also from Brighton.
It's a small world in the hockey community, that is for one.
That is certainly the case, and we'll see. Kalamazoo Wings always seem to have a bunch of guys from that part of Michigan as well.
I wonder why.
And we'll see them tomorrow night. Face off in the right wing circle in the Fuel zone, and Duarte takes it, but it's won by the Fuel. Farmer had some difficulty, or Ferell, I should say, had some difficulty finding it in his skates. Puck comes loose over to the far boards. Guy trying to force it free to Duarte in the left wing corner. He takes a hit from Jordan Martin. Duarte has it poked free by Thomas Ferell. He'll skate it out to some open ice and backhanded to Maksimovic out to center. Backhands it into the Allen zone for Blount. He tries to shake past Gagnon's check. Puck loose behind the net. Sent to Maksimovic. He couldn't handle it along the goal line. bodies pinballing off of each other below the goal line in a spirited puck battle. Comes up to McCormick. Over to Ferell. Has some room. Sends it into the slot. Redirected toward goal, but couldn't get on frame off the stick of Martin. Fuel cycle it back up. Back diagonal to the point. Ferell holds. Sends it in front. Redirected just wide by Ballant. Nice setup by Ferell, but Ballant couldn't get it on frame. McCormick straight away. Over to the right side, Ferell. Works it up the boards. Lemos, top of the circle. Back up to the point. McCormick skates in. Backs it down deep. Lemos skates it over to the right side, looking for an opening as Allen really packing in its defense. Back diagonal, McCormick with room. Shot. Blocker save made by Thornton on the shot from the top of the left wing circle. Ferell has it at the point. Fuel starting to change out man by man as they've got Allen stuck in their own zone. Lemos to the left circle. Dangles, bottom of the circle. Curls back. Shoots. Save made. Rebound comes up to Ferell. Works it low. Back up to the top of the right circle. Ferell. And his pass across to McCormick doesn't connect, and the Fuel are going to have to regroup at neutral ice. Indy had Allen back on its heels for quite a while. Puck backhanded in behind the Allen net. Manderville giving chase for Indy. And Darby Llewellyn spins it through both corners to Grima along the right wing boards as we tick past the halfway point of the game. 2-0 Fuel. Gagne in the right corner. As it jammed away from him. Watts takes a hit from Manderville. And the Fuel gain possession, and Grima rips a wrist shot just wide from the right point. Puck loose along the boards. Mike Van Unen takes it for Allen. Outlets to Brodzinski. Long feed ahead to Watts. He'll beat out the icing, but can't get to the puck. Grima is able to get the inside position, rim it around. Bielik unable to get it through Kulikov at the point. It's bouncing around, held in briefly by Allen, but then intercepted by Gagne of the Fuel. Rink-wide pass deflected by Burke in behind the Allen net. He and Kulikov go in after it. And the puck squirts free to Nolan Orzik of the Americans. And then Brodzinski took a big hit from Gagne. Puck loose at the Fuel line, picked up by Indy. Burke. Stick handles past one, but then the puck wouldn't go with him, and he loses possession as Brodzinski delivers a little bit of a hit. Out to center, Luke Salem. Backhands into the Allen line. Bielik gains the zone and loses possession. Brodzinski down the middle, all alone. Verbetic makes the save on Meshi, who couldn't quite handle a bouncing puck, but he was in all alone on a nice feed from Brodzinski coming right down the middle.
Talk about in that entire shift. It was quite a long time without a stoppage. It was just a labyrinth of players. We saw them in front of Verbetic. We saw it in the corner in Allen's offensive zone. Sticks were broken. Bodies were flying. It was just truly a very aggressive physical sequence.
2-0 Fuel. Joe Verbetic making a really good save on Ryan Meshi to keep it as such. Meshi does not have a goal this season. Kind of a depth guy for Allen. He is on the left wing now with Robbie Belargian. Old friend Robbie Belargian played a season and a half with the Indiana Ice back in junior hockey, 2011 to 13. And the Fuel win the defensive zone draw. Maksimovic at his own line. Feeds it across to Ballant. He gains the Allen line. Looks to center. Pass was a little bit behind Lemos. Chipped along the boards. Grabbed by Ballant. Up to the point. He'll feed it in behind the net. A little too far for Lemos, but Maksimovic takes it. Along the right wing. Back diagonal, McCormick. He skates in. Shoots. Stick save. Thornton. Rebound comes over to the far circle where Meshi picks it up for Allen. Maksimovic takes it back for Indy. Up to the right point, Ferell. Center point, McCormick. And he tried to feed it further along, picked off by J.C. Brassard. And out to center it comes. Gorman takes a hit from Ferell. The puck sticks in between them and the boards as we're inside 8 minutes to go in the second period of the game. The Fuel lead 2-0. When Wormuth will track it down and look to feed it ahead for Meshi, but the pass does not connect. And icing is called against Allen with 7:47 to go in the second period. Shots are 16-3 in favor of the Fuel, 4-2 this period, and the Fuel leading at 2-0.
I just want to mention a little tidbit from a game in February 17th, 2017. Allen shut out the Fuel 6-0, and former Fuel John Martin scored his second goal this season against the Fuel as an Allen American. So, again, small world in the hockey community.
We will see John tomorrow night and hopefully he will not be scoring any goals as he now plays for the Kalamazoo Wings. Shot from the point goes wide from Grima. Brenton holds it in. Behind the net, Lombardi pops out the left side. Looks to center for Spodniak, but it was broken up nicely by the Americans. They work it out to neutral ice. Lombardi spikes it back into the Allen zone, then picks it up along the far boards. Try to drop it for Martin, John's brother Jordan, and it's played in behind the net where Wormuth grabs it for Allen. Trying to send it up the boards, picked off by the Fuel. Centering pass for Spodniak, and alert defending by J.C. Broussard intercepted it and cleared it back into the Fuel end. Allen getting a quick change as Grima picks it up in front of his own goal line. He'll skate it out to neutral ice. Advance to Llewellyn, chips it into the Allen zone. Van Unen across. And Gagnon will send it ahead to Chambers. Feeds it out to the neutral zone. Hops off a guy stick and right to Luke Salem of Indy. And the Fuel look to play it to the Allen line, but the Americans grab it there. And Chambers will play it in deep. Behind the net, Verbetic moves it along. His pass was a little too strong for Salem, and Allen's forecheck shovels it back in. Llewellyn jams it up the boards all the way down. This will not be icing, as it did not have enough steam to get to the goal line. Manderville delivers a hit in the left wing corner in the Allen end. Now it's taken by Llewellyn. Back diagonal to the point. Farmer to Manderville. Turnaround shot from point blank range, and it was blocked into the corner by Van Unen. McCormick straight away. Try to give and go with Burke, but it didn't connect. Puck comes loose into the corner. Grabbed by Colin Beck. Back to Burke in the left corner. Sent it back up to the point for McCormick, but he had vacated his position, and Chambers intervenes and will play it below the Fuel goal line. Inside 6 minutes to go in period number 2. The Fuel leading 2-0. Burke picks off a pass at center, brings it into the Allen zone. Feeds to the left side to Bielik, and he fanned on a one-timer. Kulikov picks it up for Allen. He's sandwiched by Burke. Lemos takes the puck and banks off of a leg toward goal. And Anson Thornton's going to reach out and cover to get a whistle with 5:34 to go in the second period. The Fuel leading Allen 2-0. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Dr. David Moody and Dr. Kevin Boyd with Gallagher Chiropractic Group are the official chiropractors for the Indy Fuel. With multiple professionals and decades of experience, we are able to offer a level of expertise and knowledge that is world class. Our office provides chiropractic, nutrition, decompression therapy, and massage therapy. To schedule an appointment, contact us today by phone or text at 317-571-1480 or GallagherChiroGroup.com.
Body and Soul Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a professional, friendly environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bsmtindy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey.
In the second period, the Indy Fuel have a 2-0 lead over the Allen Americans here at the Fishers Event Center in Indy. Just pouring it on in terms of pressure.
Basically every hit, there's just been another hit. They're like, I'm going to get you back. And the intensity is definitely increasing with shots 16-3 in favor of the Fuel.
Has been a pretty physical game. There's a feed for Krinkovic, and he couldn't pull the trigger on a shot. Then they try to feed it into the middle for Orsic, and again, good poke check by the Fuel. Martin behind the Allen net. Feeds it up to the point. Shot from Brenton. Save. Rebound. Ballot to the crease. It's loose at the top of the crease. And stop. Jordan Martin is down. Allen skates out 2-on-2. Watts poke check by Brenton. And they bring it offside as Jordan Martin is up behind the play. And now there's a lot of pushing and shoving. And the sticks are up in the far corner. And it looks like Kulikov has one of the Fuel players down on the ice. Brenton's trying to get to somebody. It's Watts. Maximovich is tied up with Duarte. Watts is now trying to get to Ballant.
This is Balaam.
And Brenton's trying to hit anything in a red sweater right now. Nolan Orzik is the guy he's trying to get to. There's a linesman in between them. Ballant and Krinkovic have squared off, but they are just chatting.
I think I just said that the tension was rising, and that was a prime example of this is why you can't have nice things. After Jordan Martin got hit, I feel like some of that was a little bit for the Fuel, and it looks like we're seeing Breton get home more.
It's continued again. Lucas Brenton's trying to get in there as the linesman is skating him to the penalty box, because right now there's 5 Allen players in the scrap and 4 Fuel players.
And you see right now Colin Beck is telling Brenton to stop, and he's also arguing with the linesman. Remember, the reason why Chris Cameron, our cowboy like me, got suspended is because he left the bench during an altercation. So what the Fuel don't need to do right now is leave the bench right now.
Well, Brenton and Ballant are being skated to the penalty box. Kulikov is going over there for Allen. And is Grima heading over to the box too?
Looks like Grima is what we got, a full slammer today.
Well, yeah. Grima's not delivering equipment. Watts is coming over to the penalty box for Allen. And right now there's 3 Fuel players in the box and 2 Allen players.
A little squished in there.
And Colin Beck is irate as he's talking to the officials. So this does not look like it's going to be good for the Fuel. Looks like they're going to end up shorthanded out of all of this.
That was tumultuous. It was one thing after another. It kept going. You thought that the fight was over. The bad blood spoiled over. It was again and again and again. And Colin Beck is having their words. And I'm sure once the official call comes out, the whole arena is going to have some words to the refs. They're not going to agree with this. But I think it all stemmed from that hit on Jordan Martin. I think we just had our Omnisource scrap. That was the scrappiest scrap I ever saw today. Omnisource is one of North America's largest processors, distributors, and managers of scrap and secondary metals, founded here, right here in Indiana.
And so the Omnisource scrap sees multiple players in the penalty box. There's 3 players in there for the Fuel. Grima and Brenton and Ballant. And Braden Watts is in there for Allen, as is Artem Kulikov. And it looked like the altercation had been settled down. They were skating Brenton to the penalty box, and then it blew up again. Colin Beck is really upset, as the referee, Dylan Sater, is trying to explain the penalties to him. And Beck is really unhappy. And I think he's pointing out, hey, look, there was a hit that dropped our guy that started all of this and injured our player, or at least appeared to.
Yeah, he's exactly describing the moment, because he's pointing to where the altercation happened, and then he's talking about how it just translated to over there. So definitely I feel like, based off of Beck's facial expressions, which he is the type of guy that when he gets angry, his face does not lie. You can tell exactly what he's thinking.
Well, there are no penalties on the board, and I'm seeing him hold up 5-on-4, so it looks like the Fuel are going to be shorthanded. And the drop is going to be in the neutral zone. So Indy got an extra penalty out of this.
And Indy currently is 8th in the league with the most penalties. Before the game, it was 252. They average about 14, almost 15 per game. Before Cam went to the A, he was leading in penalty minutes. Right now, it's Colin Beck with 19. But he's not in the box.
Yeah, and so it looks like the penalty to Brenton is going to be the one that goes on the board. So this is going to be Allen's second power play of the night. And so an opportunity for the Americans, who have been outshot 18-3, to get back in the game here, and they've got a very dangerous power play. Spencer Asachuk tossed out of the circle, so Liam Gorman will take the draw. Kyle Krinkovic, by the way, tied for 10th in power play points with 11. as is Braden Watts. And so they gave Kulikov a misconduct. Grima got a misconduct. And Watts, Brenton, and Ballant all get roughing minors. Allen gains the zone after the Fuel had cleared. They've got a minute and a half left in their power play. Gorman has a poke free. Krenkovic tries to center, picked off by Llewellyn, and cleared all the way down. The Fuel will swap out the penalty killers with a minute 20 to go in the Allen power play. 4:20 remaining in the second period. 2-0 Fuel. Here comes Gorman. As he tried to bring it across the line, he saw Thomas Ferell and just curled back into the neutral zone to regroup. They'll rim it in here. And it's picked up by Luke Salem, cleared out to center. Brian Lemos on his horse, trying to track it down to the Allen zone. He is tripped up, and there's no call. Crowd is apoplectic as the Americans bring it in. Krenkovic to Gorman behind the net. Trying to feed it to Brodzinski, and it's picked off by Ryan Gagne. He'll skate out through center. Potential 2-on-1 with Maksimovic. Feeds it across. Maksimovic couldn't handle the pass. Gagne short-handed in the right wing corner of the Allen end. Half a minute to go. Tried to feed it to Maksimovic in the slot. Picked off by Kyle. And McCormick couldn't handle the pass, so he'll send it in deep and go for a change. Good work by this penalty-killing unit here to turn some pucks over and create some scoring chances on the penalty kill. 15 seconds to go on the Allen power play. And Maishi across the Fuel line. Stopped, but held in at the point. Brodzinski feeds it in front. It's poked away by McCormick into the zone. Here comes Llewellyn. Drops it off for Martin. Left circle, shoots. Blocker save made by Thornton. He pushed the rebound out into the high slot. Penalty is over. We're back to 5 aside as the puck comes into the left wing corner. Brenton trying to work over Duarte as the puck comes out of that battle. Jordan Martin out to center. He's being harassed by Belargian as Llewellyn brings it across the line. He's got Martin down the middle. Darby shoots and misses just wide from the bottom of the right wing circle. Puck loose along the near boards. Now in a 5-man puck battle with, they got a 6-man puck battle. There were 4 Americans in that. 2.5 minutes to go, second period. Allen clears. The Fuel send it back in. Gagne behind the Allen net trying to track the puck down, but Gagnon takes it away. He looks to flip it to Belargian, and he'll steer it out to center. Poked off a Maishi's stick by Brenton, and it's played back to the Allen line. Gagnon curls back to Van Unen, and it's redirected into the Allen bench. So we've got a whistle with 2:03 to go in period number 2. No shots on that Allen power play. Indy remains ahead 2-0.
And that was definitely kind of a blessing. The Fuel got out of the woods, out of that lavender haze with that penalty kill, because Allen is 4th in road power play. So definitely you didn't want to give them that opportunity too much.
Eva, what is the Taylor Swift counter up to tonight?
I don't even want to know. I feel like it's quite a lot. I know that Joe and Leanne are going to snip this afterwards and put it in a TikTok. So definitely it's probably at least 15.
Tonight is just putting it on the tee for the Swiftie to my right here. As the Fuel win the draw, and it's chipped out to neutral ice by Allen. Spodniak trying to jam it into the Allen zone, but the play was offside as the puck was just pinballing around right at the blue line, coming out and back in and out and back in, and often the whistle ends up blowing in that case, and it does here.
One thing that we're seeing is, last weekend we saw that after Iowa had a power play or a penalty kill, they kept the momentum. But here, the Fuel are not letting Allen keep the momentum after their power play, and that's really good to keep the shots down at a low.
Fuel win the draw. Ferell will wire it in, and Spodniak tries to hold it in along the near boards. A minute 45 remains in the second period. Again, a multiplayer puck battle along the near board. Spodniak and Lombardi trying to dig it free. They do. Puck backhanded to Lombardi in the left wing corner. Sends it up to the point for McCormick. Right point. Ferell shoots through traffic. Didn't get all the way through. Spodniak in the right wing corner. Drops it off for Lombardi. Protecting the puck along the boards. Tries to feed it behind the Allen net for Spodniak. It trickles free to Chambers, but it's taken right back by Brian Lemos. Lemos will bring it up to the blue line. Across Ferell back to Lemos. Tees up a one-timer. Glove save made by Thornton. He holds for a whistle with 1:07 to go. Now Spodniak was doing a little shoving after the whistle with Brodzinski, but cooler heads prevail. With 1:07 to go in the second period, shots 21-3 in favor of the Fuel, who lead at 2-0.
What we've been seeing so far is kind of reflecting what Darby told me that they were working on this week. They've been focused on being more predictable with the puck offensively and making better decisions in the offensive zone as well as the danger zone. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. We've seen smarter and cleaner decisions by the Fuel, and that ultimately has led into this being a 2-0 game.
We tick down to the final minute of this second period as the Fuel intercepted their own line. Lucas Brenton skates it out to center, gains the Allen line and plays it Indy. Thornton will send it back in the direction it came and out to center and back into the Fuel end where icing is called. Anson Thornton ices the puck. Rarely do we see that icing on the goaltender, but we did here.
Especially when you've been seeing 21 shots and, having 2 goals allowed so far, you want to get that puck as far away from you as possible, and preferably to Robetic, who has only seen 3 shots so far this game.
Unfortunately for Thornton, he got it so far away that he iced the puck, so it comes right back into his zone.
Yeah, can't escape it.
Gagne to take the draw against Asachuk, and it's won by the Fuel. Brenton has it at the left point. Zips it across to the right point. The puck wouldn't go with Farmer, but he gets it back, puts it in front, and the Fuel score! Colin Beck reaches around Thornton, who is sprawled out on the ice trying to cover it, and Beck just reached around him and poked it in for his second goal of the night, and the Fuel lead at 3-0.
His second goal of the night, he said, "Look what you made me do. I'm going to keep going back. You're going to have my team go on a penalty kill. I'm going to do you one better, and I'm going to score on you." So that's exactly what Colin Beck did. It's his 5th goal so far this season.
And number 2 tonight.
Patty watch.
And again, shot from the point. Beck
beautiful.
Had it at the side of the crease, and as Thornton was down trying to cover it, Beck just stick-handled around him and reached around and poked it home. And I think we're going to review this to see if there was goaltender interference. I don't think you can really find any goaltender interference on that.
We saw a lot of reviews of goaltender interference when you talk about the first game, when we saw last weekend. In our first home opener, we had 2 goal reviews, and the first one obviously got waved off by Ryan Gagne. But when you think of someone like Colin Beck, someone that has a lot of style here for this game, he has kind of almost beaten himself up sometimes with not being able to have that scoring depth that he had last year. But, between him doing more practicing, staying here in Indiana, and he's also been helping junior field players as well. So talk about someone who's very well-rounded in this organization.
Well, the referee, Dylan Sater, looking at the tablet right now. Benjamin Golick, one of the linesmen with him. Brian Lemos is having a conversation with the other linesmen. They did not look long at this, and it is confirmed a good goal.
And it appears to have Farmer and Brenton having assists on that, and Farmer scoring against his former team, the Allen Americans.
So Ty Farmer with assist number 5 on the year. He's now got 4 assists in his last 6 games. And so that's Lucas Brenton's first professional point with the second assist. And the Fuel with a 3-0 lead in the final half minute of the second period. The time of that goal, 19:23. Beck from Farmer and Brenton. And the puck in the Allen zone. Brodzinski will send it out to center. Poked away by Brenton. Back into the Allen end. Gagnon will grab it below his own goal line. It looks like he will be content to bleed out the remainder of the middle frame. As the crowd voices its displeasure with the fact that Allen was a little slow on the breakout, but they're not going to voice their displeasure with the Fuel leading 3-0 through 2 periods as Andrew Ballant and Colin Beck add to the lead in the middle frame. Shots on goal in the second period, 11-2 in favor of Indy. The Fuel with a 23-3 lead on the shot clock through 2 periods. Allen is 0 for 2 on the power play. Indy 0 for 1 with the man advantage. And that's the way things look through 2 periods. We're going to take a break. Eva and I will come back and recap the second period and bring you the ECHL Plays of the Week. That comes up right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Football is coming to the Fishers Event Center in March. Secure your seats now for all of the exciting, hard-hitting, high-scoring action of Fishers Freight football. You can pair your Fishers Freight season tickets with your Indy Fuel season tickets, too. A $50 deposit reserves your seats. Head on over to FishersFreightFootball.com to reserve your season tickets for the 2025 season.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
We're in the second intermission here at the Fishers Event Center. The Indy Fuel with a 3-0 lead over the Allen Americans. Joe Verbetic has been able to read a book in goal during the game. He has faced just 3 shots on goal in this game, and the Fuel have put 3 past the opposing goaltender. Hey, when you've got as many goals as the other team has shots on goal, that's a pretty good first 40 minutes.
And quite a problem for Allen, but I just also want to point out, Allen trailing after 2 is 0-6-2, and Indy leading after 2 is 4-1. So definitely having that momentum, the 3-goal gap, you know, that blank space there, it's really giving me some peace of mind. Because unlike last week, we had a 3-goal, we had a lead in that, and then we kind of blew it in the third period. So that's exactly what we don't need to do.
And I think you can tell Duncan Del Mayo really stressed details in the defensive zone. Allen's got some firepower up front. Easton Brodzinski, Brayden Watts, Spencer Asachuk, those guys are really, really good. Kyle Krenkovic as well. Those are all guys that have 20-goal potential, and they've been able to generate hardly any offense in this game. Really, their one scoring chance was Brayden Watts hitting the crossbar early in the period from point-blank range when the Fuel got lost a little bit in coverage. But other than that, nothing. It's been a real clinic in defensive zone coverage, and what a change from last Friday when Iowa pretty much got any shot they wanted at any time. The Fuel just kept getting lost in coverage and giving up grade A opportunities in an eventual 4-3 loss.
I would also say it's really great that you can tell that the Fuel are not showing off all of their manpower. This is a 3-3 weekend. You cannot be, emptying your gas tank yet, especially when we face a divisional opponent tomorrow. And Kalamazoo has bit us in the butt sometimes in these games, so you can't discount Kalamazoo just like we couldn't discount Iowa. So, not emptying the tank, but you can tell Allen is a little bit, but they also have to spend 2 games in the jungle, which, is nothing like it has been recently. Fort Wayne's kind of had a little stink recently, but
they've struggled at home.
Which is, hopefully they do that next Friday when Joe and I will be at that game, so you can see coverage at that game on social media because we will be there.
As the Fuel head up to the Fort next Friday, but a couple of home games between now and then. Kalamazoo here tomorrow night. They're sitting in the stands right now watching this one because they're off tonight, and then the same 2 teams on Sunday in Kalamazoo. And so that's really makes this game important because you're going to be facing a more rested team the next 2 days, a team that's been struggling, but a rested team the next couple of nights. And so you really want to bank 2 points tonight and stop that 2-game skid. The Fuel have done a pretty good job of that through 40 minutes so far. So scoring summary, Colin Beck got it started at 18:07 of the first from Luke Salem and Nathan Burke to make it 1-0. Then in the second, Andrew Ballon, a beautiful redirection at 3:39 from Llewellyn and Martin, made it 2-0. And then Colin Beck, second of the game at 19:23 of the second, from Farmer and Brenton, gives the Fuel a 3-0 lead. Indy out shooting Allen 23-3. Americans 0 for 2 on the power play. The Fuel are 0 for 1. We're going to take a break. Come back with the ECHL plays of the week right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Otolaryngology Associates LLC is one of the largest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the United States, with 13 convenient locations throughout Indiana in Indianapolis, Greencastle, Greenfield, Kokomo, Noblesville, and Carmel. With more than 20 years of experience, Dr. Biggerstaff has used his surgical skills performing thousands of complex cosmetic and reconstruction cases, including rhinoplasty, neck lift, facelift, facial implants, otoplasty, hair restoration surgeries, as well as extensive experience with thyroid and parathyroid surgeries.
From across America's premier AA hockey league, this is the ECHL Plays of the Week.
High slap, slap shot, off the glove, and in! Now toward the net, he scores! Slip back out to the blue line, shot, score! Rodney scores!
It's rewrite the record book. It's a hat trick. He skates in over the line. Deeks shoots. He in the slot. Shot. Save. Game is over.
Hello, hockey fans, and welcome back to another edition of ECHL Plays of the Week. My name is Liam Godimer, and I'm the play-by-play voice for the Atlanta Gladiators. Let's start things off in the South Division with the South Carolina Stingrays. The South Carolina Stingrays held their annual Teddy Bear Toss game last Saturday night in front of a crowd of 5,000 plus fans at the North Charleston Coliseum. The Rays were down 1-0, but forward Ryan Hofer triggered a Teddy Bear frenzy with this goal in the second period.
Energy line playing physical here, and Hofer steals for the Rays. He's got some opportunities in front. Shot, save, rebound, score! Ryan Hofer! Send those Teddy's, Rays fans! It's a tie game!
The goal for Hofer was his first as a Stingray. South Carolina has won 6 games in a row entering Wednesday night's matchup against the Atlanta Gladiators. That was Owen Gund on the Stingrays Broadcast Network. From North Charleston to Estero, the Florida Everblades and Jacksonville Icemen went head-to-head for 3 straight games over 3 consecutive days last week. In the rubber match of the set, the Icemen opened the score, but things changed quickly in favor of the hometown Everblades later in the first period on Teddy Bear Toss night at Hertz Arena.
As Smolik has it, now Lambden shoots, he scores! Here come the Bears! Grinning Barrett, Jacksonville, Everblades tie it up. Logan Lambden has the Teddy Bear Toss goal.
Logan Lambden notched 2 goals and an assist in the Everblades 4-1 win. That was Mike Kelly with the call on the Florida Everblades Broadcast Network. Well, the last couple of weeks have certainly treated the Norfolk Admirals kindly. After sweeping the Maine Mariners at home 2 weeks ago, the Admirals hit the road for 2 games in Adirondack and Worcester last week. After taking a 6-1 victory on Friday over the Thunder, the Admirals would need just 1 more win to make it 7 in a row. On Sunday in Worcester, Norfolk roared back from 2 goals down in the 3rd period and got some overtime heroics from Virginia's own Brandon Osmondson.
Rapace on the ice with Welsh and Copperou. 2-on-1 off the face-off win. Slotty, left side, looks across to Louis Jean, fakes him out. Hughes is down. Osmondson scores! The Chesapeake native ends it. The comeback is complete in Worcester on a Sunday, and the Admirals have won 7 in a row, an ECHL record since coming back in 2015.
That was Weston DeWitt with the call on the Admirals Broadcast Network. The Reading Royals joined in on the Teddy Bear Toss frenzy across the ECHL this past Saturday with their annual collection of stuffed animals for kids across Berks County this holiday season. With it only being a matter of time before the toss commenced, Mason Primo hit the button for the Teddy takeoff with his 2nd goal of the season.
Crowd awaiting the first goal to launch their furry friends of stuffed animals and teddy bears go to charity. Shot deflected, and oh, score! Deflection in front, Mason Primo lets it rain at Santander Arena. The ice littered with stuffed animals of all sizes and kinds teddy bears, stuffed animals, all raining down from the stands.
The stuffed animals from Primo's Teddy Bear Toss goal will go towards local nonprofits in the Reading area and will be brought along on the Royals' annual visit to patients at the St. Luke's Children's Hospital in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That was Eric Jessberger on the Royals Broadcast Network and Flyers Radio 24/7. The Maine Mariners edition of the Teddy Bear Toss came with extra significance this season, as it included a personal milestone for alternate captain Carter Johnson. Sitting on 99 career ECHL points entering Sunday's game against Trois-Rivières, Johnson netted his first goal of the season to send the fluff flying and hit the century mark all at once.
Zeke couldn't reach the long rebound. Massacott will fire one up and over the net to the near side boards. Kalmakov moves up, taken down in the corner. Carter Johnson, he scores! Carter Johnson sets off the Teddy Bear Toss with his 100th career ECHL point. Doing it all in one fell swoop. His first goal of the season, he just fired the puck from the corner right at the goal line, a really bad angle, but it got through Zachary Amon. And 4 minutes, 12 seconds into the game, the fur is flying at the Cross Insurance Arena.
The Mariners collected thousands of stuffed animals for Toys for Tots through the generosity of their fans, but went on to suffer a 4-2 defeat to the Lions. On Saturday, Thunder goaltender David Fessenden made his professional debut, and 2 of his first 3 saves as a pro were breakaway chances.
Puck gets tangled up, and here's a breakaway for the Royals. Fessenden denies it off his shoulder. It goes off the glass. Fessenden, offensive zone face-off, and here comes another chance. The second breakaway for Fessenden. He stops that one as well. 2 breakaway saves in the first 3 shots of his professional career that Fessenden has stopped.
Fessenden stopped 40 shots for his first professional win in a 3-2 overtime victory in Reading. That was Rob Lapolis on Hits 95.9 and the Thunder Broadcast Network. The Idaho Steelheads returned back to the Idaho Central Arena this week for a season-long 6-game homestand after playing 5 of their last 9 games on the road. Idaho opened up a 3-game road series in Trois-Rivières, Quebec last week, and Ty Pelton Bice capped off the 3rd unanswered goal from the club with his 5th career overtime winner.
Register now, right wing, thrown back into the O-zone, left to right, flips it to the middle, sicked away by Gay, finds Pelton Bice, high slap, fires, and scores! Overtime winner! Ty Pelton Bice buries it and calls game. Steelheads take it 3-2. 1:24 into overtime.
That was Cam McGuire with the call on KTIK The Ticket, the Steelheads' flagship radio station. Idaho fell in the final 2 games of the series and look to continue to get back to their winning ways at home, where they've sold out in 43 regular season home games. The Tahoe Night Monsters are currently riding a 4-game heater with back-to-back series sweeps over Allen and Tulsa this week. And they finished off a come-from-behind win in Texas on Wednesday in overtime with Simone Pinard providing the fireworks.
Us, Hughes to Pinard. On the right point, now it's Kapchek. Minute to go on the power play. Stanek walks in, drags to the slot. Switching sides with Kapchek, now doing it again. Pinard, one-time blast! Score! And just like that, this game is over! Simone Pinard calls it with a one-time bullet. 4-3, the final score!
Pinard has 11 goals in his last 10 games and looks to continue his dominance at home against Utah this week. That was Colin Kapoor on the Night Monsters Broadcast Network. The Iowa Heartlanders were upset-minded in front of a cheerful crowd at the hockey grand opening of the pristine Fishers Event Center. 3 unanswered third-period goals erased an Indy lead.
Reverse hit battle, and Iowa centers and scores! TJ Walsh, 3 in a row from the Heartlanders. They lead by 1 in Indy.
The Heartlanders are home for a couple of games this week versus Toledo. David Fine with the call on the Heartlanders Broadcast Network. That'll do it for this week's edition of ECHL Plays of the Week. I'm William Godimer, wishing you all a very happy holiday.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
At Abrams Eye Care, our skilled team of ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, and professional staff strive to treat our patients with the greatest efficiency, professionalism, and kindness. Each of our 3 Abrams Eye Care locations desire for you to enjoy a lifetime of visual health and wellness. We take pride in our excellent patient satisfaction rating and our reputation as one of the most comprehensive eye care groups in central Indiana since 1950. We are honored to be the official eye care doctor for the Indy Fuel and Fisher's Freight. Visit our new Abrams Eye Care location in Carmel.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Back for the third period at the Fishers Event Center. The Indy Fuel are leading the Allen Americans 3-0 through 40 minutes, looking to put a bow on what would be their first home win of the 24-25 season, and doing so in the special jersey nights. And our old friend Casey McGaw often points out that Chris Cameron always scores on special jersey nights, so he's got to be feeling a little bad that he's not able to play tonight, but he'll be back on Wednesday when the Fuel take on Bloomington. He'll be done with his 5-game vacation that
like
he got for
a long suspension,
standing up for Darby Llewellyn.
Definitely has been a little different, not having Chris Cameron, but at the same time, I feel like this is the best game the Fuel have had. I feel like they finally found their rhythm. If you think about last year when Chris Cameron was called up to the AHL or Cam Hillis was called up to the AHL, I felt like sometimes the Fuel depended on one sole person to be their difference maker. And you can't really have that on a team, especially, one that has so many faceted players. So it's really been nice seeing the Fuel hold their own after, even though their captain is suspended.
5 aside to begin the third period. Nick Grima and Artyom Kulikov are in the penalty box serving the remainder of their misconduct penalties. They will be out for the first 5 or so minutes of the period, and then they'll be able to return on the first whistle after that. Allen wins the draw, and away we go in this third period. Moving from left to right as you picture this rink in your mind's eye. Watts will backhand it in deep behind the Fuel net. Joe Verbetic moves it up the boards. Andrew Ballant backhands it to Brian Lemos up the right side, gains center and flips it in to the left wing corner in the Allen end. Gagnon sets the edges, wards off Maksimovic, and sends it up to the point. Ballant tried to steer it down the boards, but it's picked off there by Watts. His pass for Krinkovic doesn't connect, but Krinkovic beats out the icing in the left wing corner in the Fuel end. Bear hugged by a couple of Fuel players, comes up to the point for Van Unen. His shot blocked out to neutral ice by Lemos. And we'll drop it off for Thomas Ferell. D to D to Farmer. And now Ferell trying to bring it up the right wing. And can't jam it through Van Unen. Burke will retreat back into his own zone to pick up the puck. Ferell along the right wing boards. Up into the neutral zone. Gagne's pass for Bielik is intercepted. And Asachuk will drop it back off for the D for Allen. Guy sends it up the right wing, or the left wing, I should say, looking for Maishi, but it's broken up by the Fuels. Bielik, he gets it as far as the Allen line, and now Gagne looks to enter the zone, but Bielik got a little too antsy and jumped across the line offside with 1:18 gone in the third of a 3-0 Fuel lead.
And just want to point out that Nick Grima is still in the box. He'll probably be there for a little while. Did he get a 10-minute misconduct?
Yeah.
Or?
So the first whistle after the clock says 15:04, he'll be out.
He'll be free. And he's really been a good multi-use guy. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife on this team.
The Fuel D without Grima down to 5 guys right now. And, of course, Thomas Ferell playing his first game in a few weeks. He was activated off IR today, as was Ethan Manderville. As we're back to action, puck deflected into the Allen end. Bielik giving chase, trying to ward Gagnon off the puck. And it's taken by Asachuk of Allen. Orzik's outlet pass knocked down by Lombardi, and it jumps out to center. Guy will backhand it in deep. Picked up by Ferell behind his own net. 2 minutes gone in the third. Thomas Ferell getting a lot of minutes here. Brings it into the Allen zone, looking for Spodniak. Matou has it poked off of his stick. Fuel play it out to center, and Ferell sends it in, waits for his teammates to tag up, and I think the puck ended up out of play.
Yeah, you could see the goaltender looking around like, where did it go?
Yeah, Thornton went back to play the puck, and he just looked up, and it ended up in the netting over back glass. So we'll have a whistle and a face-off just outside the Allen line with 17:44 to go in the third.
Something I also forgot to mention about Cam Hassinger, who's playing in the AHL right now with the Chicago Wolves, is he's playing with Fort Wayne comic Ethan Kepper right now. So that's obviously a different dynamic when you get to the A and people get called up, and you get called up with one of your rivals.
They could be playing against each other here before too long. So the Fuel and Comets have 3 games scheduled against each other here in the month of December.
About time.
They have not played each other yet this season. Usually it's an opening weekend matchup. Allen brings it to the Fuel line as we're back to action. Puck deflected in deep by Indy, just wide of the cage. Quinn Wormuth being hounded by Spodniak, and we have a whistle and a penalty as Allen was trying to break it out. And the Fuel were slowing it down, and Wormuth ended up getting the stick in and tripping up one of the Fuel players, and Indy will go to the power play for the second time in this game as Quinn Wormuth will sit for tripping.
Well, the power play has definitely created some good quality chances for the Fuel earlier in the game. It was a really great chance to build momentum off, and then, after the power play, continuing that off. So definitely we saw good things in the last power play that we had, and maybe this one will be successful, especially with Brian Lemos, who does not have a goal yet.
The Fuel had 2 full minutes of zone time in that first power play and just did everything but put the puck in the net. They win the offensive zone faceoff. Bielik along the right wing boards, poke checked, but it comes up to Maksimovic. He holds it in at the point to Bielik, bottom of the right wing circle, curls back, feeds Lemos in front. Lombardi couldn't redirect it on goal. Maksimovic with it straight away. Over to Lemos. He has it to the right point. Further along, Maksimovic along the boards. Back up, right point, Lemos. Skates in, shoots, and it's in and out of the glove of Thornton. Rebound over to the far boards, and they couldn't get it out. Here comes Lemos right down Main Street. He fires a slap shot high. Maksimovic sends it up to the point. Lemos. Left circle, Bielik holding. Surveys. Feeds Lemos straight away. Center point. Right elbow, Maksimovic. Brings it down to the goal line. Up to Lemos. Fake the one-timer. Feeds it into the right circle and plays pitch and catch with Burke. Back up top, Lemos. Over to the left circle. One-timer. Bielik, and his stick exploded on him. The puck loose behind the net. Bielik runs to the bench to get a new twig as Burke protects the puck along the goal line. Burke, sandwiched by Americans, has it played up to the point. Lemos holds it in. Over to the left circle. Lombardi's shot ends up going wide and being deflected out of play. 43 seconds remain in the power play. 16:01 to go in the third. 3-0 Fuel.
Even for a short minute with Bielik's stick absolutely just going all over the place and being 4-4 for a little bit, the Fuel still kept the puck in there. They still kept handle of it. And I think that's really just testament of they really worked on control and clean passing, and that's definitely something that has improved from the last game.
And the puck retrieval's been fantastic on the power play. As the second unit's out, Martin has the top of the right wing circle. Feeds it low to Manderville. Across that score! Matou Spodniak pops the water bottle with a power play goal on a beautiful feed across the goal mouth from Ethan Manderville, and the Fuel lead it 4-0.
Well, that Allen American is going to remember that penalty all too well because it cost them a power play goal. Matou Spodniak, that is his second goal of the season so far. He was a multi-goal scorer last year in the Fuel, and I believe this is Ethan Manderville, an assist from Ethan Manderville, and this would be his first assist here in the new building. Is this his first right now?
First professional points. Matter of fact, for Ethan Manderville.
Congratulations.
And just good puck movement. Martin low to Manderville, just sent it right across the crease to Spodniak in the back door. And now Martin with a pair of apples in this one. And the Fuel lead it now 4-0. We're now 1 for 2 on the power play. The puck has never crossed the blue line on a Fuel power play in this game. You just felt like a goal was imminent at some point, and it finally came. Here's a shot from the point as we're back to action. Knocked down, loose. Spodniak turns, shoots, pad save, and the rebound went right past Manderville's stick. Held in nicely at the point by Gagne as Allen tried to clear. Gagne in the left wing corner had a little miscommunication with Spodniak, but an outlet pass picked off by Lemos. Tried to send it across the slot and had his stick lifted as he did so by Gagnon. And racing out of his net, the pounce on the loose puck was Thornton to get a whistle with 15:05 to go in the third period. 4-0 Fuel. The goal, Spodniak's second from Manderville and Martin.
There definitely seems like there's some sort of alchemy right now going on with the Fuel. They just keep having the momentum shift, and it just keeps building up and building up. Like you mentioned, they had the entire possession of the puck during both power plays, which is something we haven't seen from the Fuel so far this year.
Fuel win the attacking zone draw. Ferell shoots from the right point, a little high. And Salem keeps it alive along the left wing boards, up to Burke, across to Ferell, into the high slot. Turnaround shot blocked by Gagne. His stick exploded on him. Burke, high slot, feeds the left side for Salem, brings it down the boards. Tried to jam it into the corner to Burke, but it's picked off by Nolan Orzik. And his feed ahead to Maishi, deflected into the Fuel zone. Ferell picks it up below his own goal line, rims it around to Bielik. And now Salem out to neutral ice. And the puck is just softly sent in deep by Burke, who goes for a change. Lemos gives chase. 14:20 to go in the third. 4-0 Fuel. J.C. Brassard back in his own end with Manderville on the forecheck. The 4-goal lead. I think we might see a lot of Manderville and Llewellyn and Martin and kind of the third and fourth lines for the Fuel. Duncan Delmayo really likes to roll all four lines. Brodzinski brings it up the left wing. Puck played in behind the Fuel nets. McCormick sends it up the far boards. It comes back to him. He'll bank it around the other way this time. Picked off by Brodzinski. Looked to center into the high slot for Blaisdell, but it's intercepted by the Fuel. Here's a feed ahead to Manderville. He may have a step on the D. The puck hopped on him. Manderville gets to it, fires from the bottom of the right wing circle. Positional save made by Thornton. Allen clears. A stretch pass to Duarte doesn't connect. Icing is waved off as Ferell picks it up behind his own net for the Fuel. He takes a hit, and that separates him from the puck. It's loose along the far boards, chipped up to the point, over Orzik's stick, and then Orzik had to race back to prevent Maksimovic from getting to the puck because it would have been a 2-on-1. Here's Malott through the neutral zone with speed. Into the Allen zone. Curls back in the left circle. Back diagonal. Ferell tees one up. Save made by Thornton. On the one-timer from Ferell. Maksimovic tries to hop on a puck as it came below the goal line to the side of the cage, but before he could get to it, Thornton reached out and covered to get a whistle. 13:03 to go in the third period. Indy 4, Allen nothing. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Football is coming to the Fishers Event Center in March. Secure your seats now for all of the exciting, hard-hitting, high-scoring action of Fishers Freight football. You can pair your Fishers Freight season tickets with your Indy Fuel season tickets, too. A $50 deposit reserves your seats. Head on over to FishersFreightFootball.com to reserve your season tickets for the 2025 season.
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey.
And we just want to remind everyone to never miss a goal, either one of these four. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv. And we just want to thank everyone for being the free FloHockey game of the day, of the week. And we have about 200, 300 people watching us on Twitter right now, so I want to shout out all of you.
Thank you to everybody watching on social media. She is Eva Hallman. I am Andrew Smith. The Indy Fuel have a 4-0 lead over the Allen Americans here in the ECHL game of the week. Brian Lemos to take the draw in the right wing circle in the Fuel's attacking zone as we return to action, and there was a full start on the draw. So shots are 27-3 in favor of the Fuel. 4-0 this period. Joe Verbetic has barely seen the puck in this game as Allen wins the defensive zone draw. Grima ahead to Ballant at the logo at center. Backhands it into the left wing corner of the Allen end. Lemos gives chase. Tries to tie up his man, and the Fuel's forecheck again. Turns it over. Grima into the right circle. Ballant shoots, and it's fought off by the upper body of Thornton. He was trying to go top shelf. Puck along the far boards. Wormuth out to center, but his pass for Krenkovic is picked off by Grima, and he'll execute a high flip off the back glass. Allen will slowly work its breakout. They're going to get a 5-man change as Wormuth has the puck behind his own net. That is completed. He starts it up the far side to Kulikov. Kulikov through center. Burke was tripped up behind the play as the Americans send it in. Kulikov holds it in at the point as the Fuel tried to clear. Squirts free to Ryan Gagne of Indy. And now Farmer cuts back. Zips it rink wide to Bielik. Gains the Allen line. Drops it off to the point for Farmer. To the right corner for Gagne. Back up top for Farmer. Walks the line. Feeds Gagne at the right point. To the outside of the right wing circle to Burke. He'll bring it up on the cycle. Sends one through the slot, picked off by Gorman. And now Allen comes 2-on-2 through the neutral zone. 3-on-2 now as Maishi feeds it across to Asachuk. He shoots. Verbetic the save. Rebound. And Verbetic with a glove save with all kinds of traffic in front of him. And he holds for a whistle with 11:34 to go in the third. Joe Verbetic had to make 2 saves in a matter of seconds after having not seen a shot for about 20 minutes of clock time.
Verbetic basically said, guys, that was sweet nothing. Like, that was just, I have 5 shots against me right now. And he can't relax too much, because if you're a goalie and you relax too much, you're gonna get out of the zone. But he's just doing a phenomenal job of keeping things in control, despite this only being his second game, dressed and playing on the ice.
Verbetic at 6'6", certainly takes up a lot of room in the net. Van Unen at the point, poked away nicely by Lombardi. He's on his horse trying to track the puck down. He dumps. Gagnon takes the puck, looks to center, but couldn't find a friendly stick. Puck jammed up to the point. Shot, Ferell, score! Thomas Ferell with his first goal as a member of the Fuel makes it 5-0. And again, a good hard work shift. The Fuel kept winning pucks along the goal line. Sent it up to Ferell, and he teed up a one-timer and went bar down. It's a high five for the Indy Fuel. Ferell getting the hugs from Kevin Lombardi as he just absolutely ripped that one. It's kind of a bouncing puck. Spodniak got to it and just fed Ferell, who just ripped a quick one-timer.
Ferell basically said, I can see you, I want to be your end game. And 3 of the 5 goals that we've had today came from West Point graduates. We think about Colin Beck, who has had 2 goals right now, and Ferell now with 1. Both of them graduated from West Point, and both of those have been a C at some point.
Yeah, Ferell and old friend Anthony Ferriolo were co-captains the year after Bielik was at West Point. Here come the Americans. Brodzinski feeds it in front, looking for the backdoor tip from Duarte, and it didn't connect.
Jordan Martin again with another assist.
3 assists tonight for Jordan Martin.
And Spodniak had an assist, so he's 2 points today.
Here's a centering pass, and the only guy there is Luke Salem for the Fuel, breaking up an Allen attempt. Now here comes Darby Llewellyn across the line. Right circle, shoots, and tried to pick the top corner, missed high and wide. Manderville in front, Llewellyn shoots. Thornton with a save, and he holds for a whistle with 10:31 to go into the hockey game. That was the Fuel's 30th shot of the game. 5 of them have found to the back of the net. They lead it 5-0. And Allen with just 5 shots on goal in the game.
You know, when the shots on goal of your opponent matches how many goals that you have, it definitely just says something about the pace of the game. You know, the Fuel are like, don't blame me, we really want this home win, and they're itching for it. And it's definitely just shown off their depth of scoring today.
Well, the club record for fewest shots on goal allowed is 12. And Allen right now is 5 as we approach the midpoint of the third period.
Can we set a new record?
Well, we've already seen 1 tonight as the Fuel allowed just 1 shot in the first period and then 2 in the second. Puck jammed up the near boards as we're back to action. Allen plays it to the Fuel line where Nick Grima cuts it off. Ships it off the boards right with a linesman in the way. He had to duck out of the way of it. As the Americans bring it across the Fuel line, Chambers goes down, and the reason why was he was tripped. So Allen will go to the power play for the 3rd time tonight, exactly halfway through the third period. As Nick Grima is going to go to the box for tripping.
I believe Nick Grima spent majority of the time fresh out of the slammer in the box, but the Fuel has still not allowed a power play goal from Allen, and I don't believe the last power play had a shot at all.
It did not.
So definitely the momentum the Fuel kept clearing. They had a shorty chance as well a couple times. So, and I definitely see the Fuel slowing things down, especially because they have 2 games back-to-back next.
Allen wins the draw. Krentkovic at the point and try to steer it up the boards, but Jordan Martin intervenes. And Martin, who has 3 assists tonight, clears it all the way down. Krentkovic will bring it up and feed it up the far side to Brodzinski. Skates through Brenton's check, but Brenton slowed him up enough to allow Farmer to get to the puck and wire it around and all the way down the river. 30 seconds gone, and Allen's 3rd power play of the game, the tripping minor on Nick Grima. And they bring it into the far corner. Balot stops it. Gives to Gagne, poked off of his stick back behind the net. 5 players battling for it. McCormick gets to it, feeds Gagne, and he'll slap it all the way down. Thornton, a long stretch pass to Gorman, trying to catch the Fuel on a change, but Thomas Ferell did a nice job of poking the puck free and allowing the Fuel to clear it back into the Allen end. J.C. Brassard will retreat back behind his own net with 9 minutes to go into the game, and now we tick down to 55 seconds to go on Allen's power play. Up the left side, Duarte. He'll wind it in through both corners. Belargian behind the net to Duarte, and a centering feed doesn't connect, comes up to Brassard at the point. Across the left point, Orzik skates in, feeds it back across the seam for Duarte, up to the point for a one-timer from Orzik, and he missed it high on the feed from Brassard. Duarte toe picks, but Allen maintains possession. Belargian looks to feed it up to the point for Orzik, but it's intercepted by Martin. And Martin, unfortunately, though, got too far under it, sent it up into the stands. Allen's going to have a 5-on-3 for 25 seconds as Martin will sit for delay of game.
Yeah, this is just so it goes. It's not exactly what Martin wanted, especially with having 3 assists so far. And Allen was really pushing chances, pushing up on Verbetic, trying to break him down, see how delicate that he can get. However, I still think towards the end of it, it became a really good field power play, penalty kill. And with Allen, as previously mentioned, being 4th in the league for road power plays, you want to kill us as fast as you can.
Trying to see if Allen's B.J. Adams would call a timeout to set up the 5-on-3. He will not, as the Americans win the draw. Orzik across to Brassard. They're down 5-0. So Brassard shoots, and Verbetic turns it aside. Comes along the near boards. And it's forced free by Lemos out of a puck battle. He'll clear it all the way down. This should do it for the 5-on-3 as Grima is up. And he is now out of the box as Orzik sends it rink wide off of Guy's leg and careens over to the far boards. Grima will head to the bench, and the Fuel now killing off a 5-on-4 power play for another minute 25. Belargian back in his own zone. Sends it ahead to Guy into the Fuel zone up the left wing board. Sandwiched by Ferell. And Spodniak plays it into the far corner. Spodniak gets to it. Tried to clear, but it banked off of an Allen player. But then comes to Bellant, and he sends it all the way down. Minute 3 to go on the Allen power play as Thornton sends it ahead to Brassard. Again, trying to catch the Fuel on a change, but Allen was changing too, so Brassard had no numbers. He curls back, and they'll drop it off to Watts at his own line. Watts up the left side to Gorman. Try to give and go with Watts. Broken up. Here's a puck sent goalward by Gorman, but again, broken up by the Fuel. Up to the left point, Krinkovic. Holds. Feeds Gorman. Back up to Krinkovic. Zips a pass across to Brodzinski. Back to Krinkovic. Into the slot. Looking for Gorman. Didn't connect, but Watts sends it back up to the point. Shot from Brodzinski. Blocked by Llewellyn and found by Gagne and cleared all the way down with 25 seconds to go on the Allen power play. Allen with no shots on this extended power play that's lasted 3.5 minutes and featured 25 seconds of 5-on-3. Allen sends it in. Grima cuts it off, and he clears it all the way down again. This will do it for the power play as Martin's up and awaits to be sprung. He is out the Fuel. 4 for 4 on the kill. 6:20 to go in the game. Indy leads at 5-0. Kulikov plays it in behind the Fuel net. Indy grabs it, and Lombardi will take it along the near boards and flip it to the Allen line, looking for Spodniak. It rolls past him, and Gagnon has it for the Americans. Up the right side. Looks to center, but he's stapled into the boards, and it comes back to Kulikov. Final 6 minutes of this one. Fuel lead at 5-0. Pass a little too far for Blaisdell. The Fuel clear it out to center. Kulikov has it now at his own line. Looking for the D-to-D pass. It was taken away by Lombardi, so he zips it up the far boards. Here's a centering pass a little too far for Blaisdell from Chambers. Puck in along the near boards, comes up to the point. One-timer Van Unen crossed up for Beck, but he was able to hold it out. It may have been deflected on the way in. Now here comes Lombardi. Trying a short pass ahead to Spodniak, didn't connect. Van Unen to the Fuel line, stood up by 4 Fuel players, and the puck rolls to McCormick. 5:15 to go in the hockey game. Indy well on its way to its 9th win of the season as Lemos is poke-checked as he brings it across the Allen line. Duarte back in his own zone, takes it behind his own net. The Fuel forecheck trying to bother the breakout. Belargian tied up by Burke, and the Fuel turn it over. Here's Farmer with it at the right point. Skates in along the boards, into the corner, and chips it toward Lemos. He sends it off the backboards. He is forced down to the ice, but it's held in by Burke at the right point. He shoots. Glove save made by Thornton on the rising shot. It was going to go over the net, but he holds for a whistle. With 4:38 to go in the hockey game, Indy 5, Allen nothing. You're listening to Indy Fuel Hockey.
Want to enjoy Indy Fuel Hockey on your schedule? Get your 12-game flex pack now. For one low price, you can save and get tickets to your choice of 12 Indy Fuel games this season at the Fishers Event Center. You get better seats and the best service with your 12-game flex pack. Go to IndyFuelHockey.com today to find out how you can get your seat for the Indy Fuel's inaugural season at the Fishers Event Center.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
4:38 to go in the third period. The Indy Fuel with a 5-0 lead over the Allen Americans. We mentioned B.J. Adams, the Allen head coach. He spent several years as an associate coach and later the head coach of the Erie Otters of the Ontario Hockey League, where he coached Kyle Maximovich. as well as old friend Chad Getman and some guy named Connor McDavid.
Oh, just some guy.
Yeah, and Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Strom and Taylor Radish as well. His assistant coach at Allen is Brett Ferguson, whose father, Bob, coached the Indianapolis Ice for 4 years, from 1994 to 98. Saw Fergie last week here as he was here for our opener scouting, as he's now with the Anaheim Ducks. It's good to see Bob Ferguson and his son Brett, the assistant coach on the Allen bench. We're back to action as Kyle Maximovich, playing against his former coach's team, sends it in behind the net. Martin ties up his man. Ballant in on the forecheck as well, but the Americans gain possession. And Brassard up the far side. Watts tried to bring it into the zone, but it was poked off his stick, and now Maximovich and Brodzinski trying to go after each other after the puck was sent out of play. And Maximovich and Brodzinski, one of them delivered a bump, the other took exception to it. Maximovich trying to reach over the linesman and rip Brodzinski's helmet off, and now Ballant has Brodzinski in a bear hug. The linesman trying to separate them. And now Brodzinski is facing off with Maximovich. There will be penalties out of this, as Easton Brodzinski is barking at Maximovich.
The only thing I have to say about this is you need to calm down. We have 2 games left after this. Andrew Ballant heads to the box for the second time, probably for another roughing call. But, you know, when it's a 5-0 game, something's got to give. And by something, I mean gloves off.
These guys just got to shake it off.
Yes, Andrew!
You were
yes!
waiting. You were waiting for that, weren't you?
Oh, my goodness, that was beautiful. That will be... Oh, that was beautiful, Andrew. Couldn't have said it better.
Well, the Fuel are going to get a power play out of this.
Well, that's
because Brodzinski and Ballant both got roughing minors, and then Brodzinski also got a extra unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So that'll give the Fuel their 3rd power play of the evening.
And the Fuel, I believe, let me just pull up my game sheet. We did score on the last power play. It was Matou Spodniak from Vanderbilt and Martin. Again, remember, Martin has 3 assists so far in this game. He's definitely shown off that the 4th line and his line that he is on is not to be messed with. I know that he's been bumped up and down from 4th line to 3rd line, but it's really nice to see someone like him who doesn't typically get a lot of starts so far this season really show off what he can do.
And so they're going to have to send somebody over to serve the extra minor because Brodzinski got 2. So Krenkovic will sit in the box to serve the extra penalty on Brodzinski. The Fuel with 5 goals, Allen with 5 shots on goal in this game. And Indy to the power play for the 3rd time. Lemos wins the draw back to Maximovich. Across it comes Burke, zips it past across. Bielik shot blocked into the corner. And the Fuel retrieve the puck again. Allen has not cleared the puck at all on a Fuel power play. Maximovich into the right circle to Lemos. Plays it further down the wall. Pass up to Maximovich. Hit him in the skate, but he's able to retrieve it and spin it around through both corners to Bielik. Try to back pass to Burke. And finally, it comes to Quinn Wormuth, and he clears. That's the first time that Allen has cleared a puck while shorthanded in this game. The Fuel had spent the entirety of the first 2 power plays in the Allen zone. They scored on one of them. The goal by Matou Spodniak. Here's Burke with it. Feeds it up to the point. Lemos. One-timer. Maximovich takes a feed from Lemos, and he got out the pitching wedge instead of the 5-iron and ended up putting it over the back glass with a point-blank one-timer from the right wing circle.
And if Lemos, I've been waiting for Lemos to have an assist because he is 1 assist away from being 2nd in assists for the Fuel with 86 assists. Remember, Lemos has been here for a long time. And when you think about someone who's had a lot of assists, he's really putting pucks into play. It's him. So, ever since I wrote down the stat, I just feel like he hasn't gotten that one last assist. I jinxed him.
Fuel win the draw, rim it around to Bielik at the left point. Brings it down the boards to the outside of the circle. Into the corner. Puts on the brakes. Zips it up to the point for Lemos. He shoots. Save, rebound. Put back on goal. Save Thornton on the rebound from the top of the blue paint by Lombardi. And Allen clears it out to center. Onto the stick of Duarte. 1-on-1 across the fuel line. Duarte, shorthanded, takes a hit from Lemos, and Burke takes the puck. As Duarte was trying to get the shot off right from the top of the crease, Lemos hit him. And now Lemos is down behind the play. I think he may be lost an edge. 30 seconds to go on the Fuel power play. Lombardi across the line. Zips it across to Gagne. Drop past McCormick. Center point. Right side Martin. And he'll bank it up to McCormick. Over to the left side. Shot from Gagne just wide. Manderville battling for it. He had an assist on the power play goal earlier. McCormick at the left point. Sends it to Gagne along the left wing half wall. Up to the point, banks to McCormick. 5 seconds to go on the power play as Martin skeets in. Right circle, shoots, scores! Jordan Martin makes it 6. And now Spodniak is throwing some gloves afterwards. Jordan Martin with a power play goal gives the Fuel a 6-0 lead as he tallies his 4th point of the night.
Jordan Martin said, I can do it with a broken heart. I have all this style, and that's exactly what he did. First goal this season from Jordan Martin. He went into this game with only 1 point. He is coming out of this game with 5 total points. He had 1 point previously with an assist off of Darby Llewellyn in Saturday's contest. So in the past 2 days, in the past 2 games, he has had 5 points. That's definitely extraordinary for someone. He is bejeweling tonight.
6-0 our score as Jordan Martin tallies his 4th point of the night. And it's the first 4-point game for a member of the Fuel since December 30th of last year when Colin Beck had 4 assists. McCormick and Lombardi with the assist. The goal at 17:54. Jordan Martin's first of the year. Minute 40 to go. 6-0 Fuel. Indy's goal total matching Allen's shot total in this game. Just a completely dominant performance by this Fuel squad that's missing a number of players due to call-ups or injuries or other reasons. As Brenton sends it across, rink wide. It hops off of Gagne's stick. He tries to sachet past a check. Comes over to an open wing where Wormuth will backhand it out to neutral ice. Sent to the Fuel line, broken up by Indy. Gagne takes a hit, but moves the puck to Spodniak. Now Lombardi across the line. Right wing circle shoots. Blocked into the corner. Final minute. Spodniak. Make that Lombardi. Feeds it to Spodniak. He'll send it around the carousel looking for Lemos. Along the right wing boards, Lombardi up to the right point. Ferell. Across to McCormick at the left point. He'll just cycle it down the boards for Spodniak. Back up to McCormick. He again sends it in deep. Lemos in the left wing corner. Brings it up the boards. Up to McCormick again. Right side Ferell, who's got a goal. Well, Fuel just playing 4 corners right now. Now they send it out in front for Lombardi, and it was broken up by Thornton, or Lombardi would have had a point-blank chance. Here's Blaisdell across the Fuel line with 20 seconds to go in the game. In the right corner, takes a hit. Feeds it up for a shot. Glove save made by Verbetic on Orzik. That may be the last save he needs to make to secure his first shutout as a member of the Fuel. And it would be the Fuel's 5th shutout of the season already.
Yeah, and you want to know a fun fact? Two of the other shutouts have come from Taylor Swift night games. Peyton Jones had a shutout in Reading on their Taylor Swift night, and then Ben Gaudreau had a shutout on Kalamazoo's Taylor Swift night. I don't know, something about Swiftie nights. They just want to have a blank space on the goal column for the opposing team.
Fuel win the draw. Manderville has it with 10 seconds to go. Out to center. He'll softly dump it in as Orzik picks it up behind his own net. He will skate out the remainder of the time. The Indy Fuel, for the first time at the Fishers Event Center, are victorious as they shut out the Allen Americans 6-0. Joe Verbetic with the shutout. The Fuel players all pour off the bench to congratulate their goaltender, who made 7 saves on the evening. Jordan Martin with a 4-point night. Colin Beck with a pair of goals. And the Fuel with an emphatic 6-0 victory over the Allen Americans.
The Fuel really needed this. They're playing in Long Live right now, and long live the Indy Fuel in the new Fishers Event Center. they really needed to show off their scoring depth. They really needed to show off that they can support their goaltender, even though that their AHL one of Ben Gaudreau was called up to support Mitchell Weeks. They really did every little thing right. And what happened against Iowa last weekend, they turned it around and they cleaned it up. And it was really just a love story between this team. And the story of us is not over. We'll be right back here tomorrow.
The Fuel salute the fans at center ice. They head off the ice as they celebrate a 6-0 victory over the Allen Americans. It's the second career ECHL shutout for Joe Verbetic. His last win came on March 24th, 2023 with Trois-Rivières against Norfolk. And now Joe, in his second start with the Fuel, has a pretty easy night. Just has 7 shots on goal against, but does not allow any of them past him. And he has the shutout this evening as the Fuel win it by a count of 6-0 over the Allen Americans. Final shots on goal, 33-7 in favor of the Fuel, 10-4 in the third period. We're awaiting the announcement of the 3 stars. And I think we're trying to maybe figure out who the 3 stars are. We're having a little bit of discussion amongst the media staff to get the 3 stars, but so we're kind of awaiting that announcement. And the Fuel victorious 6-0 over Allen, and that's
fewest shots allowed so far this season. I believe the total in the end came out to 7.
Yes.
So it was the fewest so far.
Fewest allowed in team history.
Well, it's a history-making week.
Yeah, and so the 5th shutout of the year by a Fuel goaltender. The 4-point night for Jordan Martin is the first by a Fuel player since Colin Beck and Kyle Maximovich both had 4 points on December 30th of last year against Fort Wayne. And yeah, the previous record for fewest shots allowed in a game was 12. And that was, trying to find it in my encyclopedia of records here. Fewest shots on goal against, 12. It had been done 4 times, most recently on March 27th against Toledo, but now 7 shots on goal. And so everybody's standing around at center ice waiting for the 3 stars to be announced. And now here we go. So tonight's 3 stars. Joe Verbetic is the 3rd star tonight with a shutout. Rarely do you have the goalie who gets a shutout get the 3rd star, but he had 7 saves tonight for his 2nd career ECHL shutout, his first with the Fuel. The number 2 star will be Colin Beck, who had 2 goals tonight, including the game winner. He got the Fuel started with a goal late in the first period, his 4th of the season. And
tonight's 2nd star from your Fuel, number 6,
Colin skates out, tosses the T-shirt into the crowd. Our number 1 star with 4 points tonight, Jordan Martin, a goal and 3 assists to tally his first career 4-point game and give the Fuel a 6-0 win, and he is at ice level with Kurt Streblow.
One more time. So you're back at home at the Fishers Event Center. You shut them out tonight. How are you feeling about this win?
It's a good team win, and we're happy to be home in front of all these fans, and let's keep going.
How do you keep that momentum going into the rest of the season?
Just take the energy from the building, all the Swifties here tonight, and there you go. That's all you need.
On Love of the Jerseys, we do have a lot of Swifties here tonight. Era's night. We're going to try to get them back here tomorrow for our teddy bear toss. Anything you want to say to get them back in the building tomorrow?
Teddy bear toss, huge night, first goal. They're those Bears. Let's get this place packed.
Let's hear from Jordan and the rest of the team one more time. Appreciate it.
All right. It's Jordan Martin, ringside with Kurt Streblow, as he is our number one star tonight with 4 points as the Fuel defeats the Allen Americans 6-0. We're going to take a break. Eve and I will come back and wrap this one up right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a professional, friendly environment. Maximize your game potential with a regular and consistent sports massage routine. A post-event massage helps you recover faster and reduce your injury risk. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at BSMTindy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
Dr. David Moody and Dr. Kevin Boyd with Gallagher Chiropractic Group are the official chiropractors for the Indy Fuel. With multiple professionals and decades of experience, we are able to offer a level of expertise and knowledge that is world class.